This episode,
we talk in depth about the industry-shaking Netflix deal to buy Warner Brothers and billionaire David Ellison's attempts to stop the deal from happening in favor of his newly owned studio, Paramount Skydance.
we review the hit FX show Adults, the first two films in the Now You See Me trilogy starring all-star casts, and the beginning of Netflix's Stranger Things Season 5. Again.
And we discuss director Sucker McGee's bizarre beef with the Batman actor Paul Dano and the recently greenlit third installment to the 28 Years Later trilogy.
With new episodes airing every 2 weeks on Tuesdays, this is Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. I'm Simon Eady.
And I'm Adrian Pinter.
Welcome to episode 125.
I'm married, bitch.
Whoa. It's quite the...
What's up, Simon? Nice to see you, man. Thank you for joining me today.
You're betrothed.
On our podcast that we record at an appropriate time.
Yeah.
After 5 p.m. on a weekday.
Of course.
And
we'd never do anything different. That would be unprofessional, theoretically.
It would be. Sun is slowly setting over here in the dark Canadian winter. In Ontario. And Simon, I got married this past weekend. So last episode I was engaged. This episode
you were.
I'm a married man.
You're a husband.
And then you are getting married this weekend as well, which is super exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Yeah, man, and it's amazing, dude. I love being married. It's cool. It's really just a label. I've already been living with my now wife for a while, but the wedding was wonderful. I got a wedding band on, as you can see. Look at that, on my ring. I don't know if the quality's coming through on Zencaster, but life's good, man. Happiest day of my life. I was.
Oh, is that so? I was going to ask. How do you feel? How did you feel that the day went? Do you think it went excellently? Do you find that it all went without a hitch and it was delightful?
There were some hitches, but it's okay, man, because you just got to roll with the punches and enjoy life, and that's exactly what we did. And again, I had a wonderful time. Friends, family. You were there.
I was. You
and your fiance, soon to be wife, was there.
Yeah.
It was just wonderful seeing people. I cried a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it back. The priest literally had to come over to me and pat me on the back and say, "Hey, it's okay. You'll be good."
Oh, that's nice.
And that was nice of him.
Yeah, consider it.
Yeah, he was a really nice priest. I know he was sassy to you apparently, but he's a nice priest.
He was sassy to me.
He was sassy to a friend of mine during the rehearsal as well. It was kind of funny. Everyone liked him though. I liked him at least. He seemed like a cool dude. It's just it was weird when we were entering from the parking lot. There was multiple entrances to this church. Pretty nice church in Guelph. Probably the most well-known church in Guelph if you live there. It's a cathedral. It's very nice. But yeah, we entered one of the entrances, and then when we were opening the door, we noticed a sign to the right of the door said hall, and there's like a bunch of children in there, and we're like, oops, I guess that's not the entrance. And then the priest is walking, sauntering on by, and he's like, yeah, that's not the church. That's not the church. The church is over there. He like points over to and we're like, okay, dude. Cool, man. Yeah.
And we didn't know that was going to be the actual priest who officiated. That's what they say, right? Officiated?
I don't know. I was going to say who married me.
Who married you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're married to a priest.
Now I am. It's a throuple.
Yeah, you're married to God.
And that bird flew in as well. So it's a quadruple.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back, baby, from last episode. But yeah, man, wedding was great. Wedding was awesome. I'm happy. I'm married. I'm a married man. You're going to be a married man soon. It's going to be awesome. Look at us being adults. We're just like,
yeah. I will say thank you very much for the invite. It was a delightful time. The choreography in the church. I've never been to a church wedding before. Pretty cool. I thought the spacing of people walking down the aisle was like on point, like exactly felt like to the centimeter in some capacity in terms of how people were spaced out as they walked down the aisle. It was pretty cool. And then the event itself was cool. You played a lot of video game music during the dinner. Only video game music. Actually, I don't know why I said a lot. You only played video game music during the dinner.
Not only.
Didn't you?
There was a song from Your Name as well, the hit anime.
I had a feeling I recognized Your Name at some point, but I was like, but that wouldn't really meet the theme. So I was like, I wasn't.
I put that in because I love that. It's like the instrumental. It's like the date song. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Okay. I feel like it works.
I missed that. I must have missed that one. I thought it was like there was a couple I didn't recognize. I was like, I feel like one of these is an anime.
Yeah, and Your Name, and then there was also Mr. Blue by Catherine Feeney, which is the ending song of BoJack Horseman as well in that music list. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that one. I missed it. But a lot of Final Fantasy. There was some Kingdom Hearts in there. Yeah, there's some Death Stranding.
Most definitely. We walked out to Kingdom Hearts. We walked out to Simple and Clean, the orchestral version.
Which you know what's crazy? Awesome. Yeah, it was cool. That was good. I look over at I'm at the table with a buddy of mine who I kind of grew up with because we went to high school together, Phil. Yeah. And I look over to him and he says he looks over at me. He's like, Disney. And I'm like, Disney. I mean, it's a brand of Disney. There's a flavor of Disney, but it's very much not just Disney. It's a certain brand of nerd that likes Kingdom Hearts. I think there's like a specific line there, and he loves Kingdom Hearts. So I was like, Disney, why of all people do you not know that this is Kingdom Hearts, Phil? Come on. And then I'm like, this is Kingdom Hearts. And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, Jesus, what's happening to you?
It's the Simple and Clean like orchestral Kingdom version. Like when I think it's like when you're going to like Mickey's Castle, and I think the second Kingdom Hearts game, I believe it was.
This I don't remember. I wouldn't remember where it was. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's oh man, what a good song. But yeah, I played that as our walkout song. Yeah. Boom. Got a lot of again, I had a lot of Final Fantasy music on there. Death Stranding, as you mentioned. I had Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know if you heard Red Dead Redemption 2.
That. I did.
Last of
Us.
I
did place that one too.
Yeah, it was honestly just
easy one. That was the easiest one to place. Actually, I didn't place it. I wasn't tuned in to the music at that moment, and my fiance looks over and she's like, "This is The Last of Us," and I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Where?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, the music." We were guessing the music, but yeah. It's cool. There was another thing I was going to say about the music. I don't remember. No, I lost my train of thought. Oh well, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. The food was good.
I made a banging playlist. I'll be honest, it was awesome. I feel like it flowed well.
Right, that was the question I was going to ask. So you got to choose the playlist, presumably. I found it interesting. So you chose the dinner playlist. Some people wouldn't been the wiser. They would have been like, "Oh, this is potential elevator music. Oh, it's lounge music or something." They could have thought that potentially. Some of the music was more like, I feel like theme based. You can kind of tell, but I feel like most of it you can kind of get away with it. But I will say this: you came out to Simple and Clean, as you said. Here's the thing: you're married to someone who is, plays a few games, plays a few video games, from what I understand, here and there, but is not necessarily a gamer with a capital G like yourself. So, how did you convince her to do that? To come out to the Simple and Clean? Because there's no way I would even try to get my fiance to do something like that. My wedding's not like that. We're not even doing that type of thing. It's just a small dinner at the end of the wedding ceremony with family. So we won't have that presentation. But I'm just curious, like what's going on there? Like, how did you? First, the music for the actual dinner makes sense, but you're like, I asked and she just said yes. She didn't have any argument.
There's she knows how much I love Kingdom Hearts. She likes the music from Kingdom Hearts because I play it. Like, I genuinely listen to Kingdom Hearts music like quite frequently. It's on my playlist, so she's familiar with these songs as well.
I see.
She's not seen me play Kingdom Hearts, but she saw me play a lot of like Final Fantasy. Obviously, Last of Us we played together. She's not seen Red Dead, but again, she's heard a lot of this music before. So she was more than open to walking out to it because I was like, "Is it a really beautiful song? Don't you think?" It's like, "Yeah, it is." Like, I know how much you love this song. Like, and then I was like, "Can we walk out to this?" And she's like, "Of course." It was that easy.
Of course, that was that easy. She just didn't have it. Well, I would have thought she would have had an opinion of what she wanted to walk out to. That's right. Like, she kind of like. It sounds like you just kind of because there were certain things that specifically you told me about. I don't know if you told me on this podcast, but there was things that she picked that you had no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
But that was not important, which I thought is interesting because that to me is like a big moment, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a banging song. So why the heck not, you know?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she was amazing. Again, she's my wife. Again, we're, you know, she's my best friend. She's my partner, and, you know, she's okay with that. And we compromised on a few things. She wanted that dessert table at the end of the night. Right. I did not. We still got the dessert table.
I enjoyed it.
There was Oreos.
I enjoyed it,
which was sick. I still got wedding cake. You want some wedding cake? You want to come over after this recording? I'll give you a slice of wedding cake.
Yeah, you have a lot? Like a lot?
I got like maybe a third of the base left, like enough to feed probably 10 people confidently. Probably more than 10. Yeah.
It's tasty.
I'm glad that you liked it. So if you want some, I'm not even joking. This is not a joke. This is me being totally serious. If you want to come by, I will give you a nice big slice.
We gotta plan, like, I guess this is a segue to the film and TV podcast that we're actually running here, but I feel like we still got to plan that Beau is Afraid day. I feel like you should come over to my house. We should watch Beau is Afraid. We should do that. I
would love to do that with you.
Yeah. You know, just watch the movie and then I kick you out, you know?
Okay. Sounds good. I'll bring you cake.
Simple.
Wedding cake.
Okay, just bring the cake. Yeah. Wait, what was I going to say? Actually, I guess to go into our podcast, unless you got more to say, actually, because it was a big day. It was very exciting. Anything else you want to talk about to the audience here?
No, it's all good, man. You know, I'm glad that you came. I'm glad that I had so many close friends and family come in, you know, and you know, people that I love there. It was wonderful. I really like that Ken was able to come out. He's like, I think he still listens to our show, but again, he's a close friend of ours. And even though he has like a lot of persistent health issues, he was able to at least come to the church ceremony. As soon as I saw him, I honestly started crying. He like came in and I like gave him a big hug and I was like, oh my God, I'm crying seeing, you know, one of my good friends. I'm going to bawl my eyes out when my wife walks down the aisle, which is exactly what I did. Yeah. So yeah, again, it was awesome, dude. I'm so happy. I'm excited for you to get married and, you know, be with your family and be with your wife.
Yeah. That'll be cool. That'll be cool indeed.
Super cool indeed, dude. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say something briefly. You talked last week about, I don't know how this came up now. Now I should have written a more detailed note. I didn't. But you said something like about how we're not cinephiles.
Yeah.
And you didn't like that word because it's pretentious. And I would agree with you. I just thought about it after, but now I don't remember the context, so it feels like it's less meaningful, which sucks. But I just feel like that is kind of I feel like that's a good note to even start this any episode of this podcast to say. It's like we're just not cinephiles. We're big fans, and we're like looking at the industry constantly. We're like into the film and TV industry, and we're constantly looking at it. But I wouldn't consider myself a cinephile either because of the pretentious nature of it, and it's this idea that like, oh, I'm a cinephile. There's a lot of people I know that are actually like that I come across in my business and like my work every day. I'll be like, somebody will come up to me and they're like, they're either a gamer with a capital G, or they're specifically like really intensely a film lover, and then they're very opinionated to like a maximum degree. I feel like we're opinionated too, but I just don't think that that's the focus of the show. Also, our focus is split between many things. Obviously, we do not get paid for this podcast. We're doing full-time jobs. You're potentially at your fulltime job right now. I mean, you're just...
I'm not, dude. It's 5 p.m., man. The clock's done. The weekend's here.
Of course. So anyway, I just thought that was a good call out. I appreciate you doing this with me as well. I appreciate that we get to sit down and talk about this every 2 weeks on Tuesday. Well, we're not talking about it on Tuesdays, but we're talking about film and TV every 2 weeks and recording this because it's fun and it's good to hang out with you. And yeah, I feel like I think maybe it was after I thought about what you had said about the cinephile thing in the context that it was at, and I saw you kind of crying at your wedding and all that. It's very like it's like a little emotional rousing, and I was like, it's nice. This is nice that we get to do this week on week. I love you, man, and I appreciate you coming to this, hanging out here on occasion.
Thanks,
I'm not the most. I feel like I'm the most antisocial butterfly person lately. I'm more of a homebody. I kind of stick at home mostly, and it's kind of just the nature of my job as well as being very social. And I feel like I appreciate you coming to kind of my neck of the woods in a way that you might not have wanted to necessarily socialize this way, because you're a very social person. You hang out with people in your house. You invite them constantly and you do social things. I'm just not a social outing kind of person as much anymore. And I appreciate that we can do this. So it's good. Well, anyway, I just thought I would throw that in here at episode 125 because we're 25 episodes into this new reboot, the soft reboot of Split Focus. So anyway,
that's nice, man. I love you too, dude. I love you too. I appreciate your friendship. I love spending time with you. I love shooting the shit with you. Obviously, I am a social butterfly, I guess you would say. I do need my recharge days and stuff like that, but I do. I like hanging out with people. I like that communal experience. Like, I mean, last night with the Game Awards as well. I would have loved for you to come by. Had a couple of friends come over, little charcuterie board action. You could have had some good cheese, man. You could have had some good cheese. Sweet, but it's okay. I understand, man. I totally get that. And again, no worries there. I'm glad that, again, you and I can do this one-on-one. I mean, to follow this up though, New Year's, I don't know what you're up to. More than welcome to come by to my place on New Year's.
Oh, okay.
Gonna have maybe do like a little New Year's potluck. So far, I've only messaged my one friend, and I got to put it in to a group chat that I have other friends in. See if they'll come.
Gotcha.
My one friend and his wife will be coming. So
okay, we'll see. I'll talk to my fiance. Actually, will be wife, I guess, at that time.
Oh my goodness,
about it. And then, by the time this episode airs, because we're recording this on a Friday, we'll be married.
That's true.
It's kind of crazy.
It's true.
So anyway, crazy. I'll discuss that. We'll look into it. But yeah, but I appreciate you understanding my how I just don't go places. Although we do hang out, though. Be honest, we go to a lot of movies. You just sent me a message about Cine Club, how they had that promotion. Do you actually want to go try that on Monday and see?
I'm down, man. I'm down if you are. Because I don't think I
might be down. We'll see, because this is the day after the wedding, so we'll see. But I might.
I also might have to drive my uncle to the airport because he's going back home to Serbia. So I realize.
What time was that? So Cine Club, just so the audience knows, because I feel like we sometimes don't give context. Actually, I'm listening to a podcast lately that doesn't give enough context constantly, to the point where I'm like kind of annoyed. I don't know if you find that. We listen to the same podcast. And it's like they just don't give context to what they're talking about. And then I never understand what they're talking about for like 30 minutes. I'm like, are you going to explain what you're talking about? You're talking about some kind of outfit you're wearing on your face. You never explained it one time. This is an audio form. This is literally a podcast. So I don't understand. You're talking about, are you wearing a fake mustache? I have no idea what you're talking about. That was like half the episode. I felt like I was like, what? Is this 40 minutes in? You've been talking about this shit for... Anyway.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That was for the visual. Like, you needed a visual cue to understand what's going on there.
It's not a visual medium, just on a baseline. You can do a video version of it. That's cool. But anyway, point is, what we're talking about, Cine Club is a subscription in, I think they used to have something similar in the States. I don't know if they have that anymore. But Cine Club is basically, you pay monthly as a subscription to Cineplex, and then you get money. That would be incredible. It's a pyramid scheme. No, you get tickets every month that you can then spend to go see a movie. But they give you various perks, like, cheaper popcorn. It's already ridiculous expensive, and it's still cheaper with that deal. But regardless, and they also give you sometimes an option to go to a pre-screening of a film that hasn't come out yet, which has been a new perk that we've just discovered that really didn't exist until this year. So the last time we got invited to do this was Eternity, the movie with Elizabeth Olsen, where she's in heaven and she's got like two suitors because her husband dies and then she remarries, which is a crazy plot line. And I kind of still want to see Eternity. I don't know if I'll end up seeing it in theaters, but then the next one is on Monday or Tuesday.
It is on Monday. Yeah. It's on Monday, the 15th.
Does it say what time?
Let me pull up that email. But I think
I didn't get it. That's the thing. I didn't see it this time, which was weird. I couldn't find it. I have to look again in the app, but maybe it just didn't show up for me. So I'm considering it for sure, because it would be cool. But there are a few movies, and when we go through what we've been watching, what's coming up, the Look to the Future segment, we can talk about what movies it could be, because I feel like it could be a different film than you think. You thought it might be Is This Thing On? But I have a feeling that it could be another 3 movies, because I have a feeling that they could do the December 25th films, and there's a lot of them. And I have a theory of which one it might be.
Anaconda, maybe?
That's exactly right. That's why I thought maybe because it's such a crowd pleaser. I think that one would be such a.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, my guess is, again, I want it to be, is this thing on? But my honest guess would probably be like The Housemaid or something like that.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Because I feel like you keep this for more of a like niche movie as opposed to something that is going to draw people in.
So then is this thing on is a good choice then, actually? Then it would be more likely. Because
like Eternity is kind of more of not an indie movie, but it's not like a blockbuster or whatever, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe it's that. So I don't know. There's a potential chance. I don't know where. Let me find this out. Cineplex, because I looked at the screenshot I sent you and it doesn't say anything. What the film? Get tickets. The film? So I have to actually click the campaign here.
I don't know why it's not easy to find. This is the one criticism I have of this particular part of the service. I don't really understand why I can't just quickly look for it on my Cineclub.
This kind of half spoils it because it tells you what the length of the movie is.
Oh, good. So we can figure it out.
It's 2 hours and 22 minutes. That's what it says.
Yeah. The funny thing is we're also recording this again on Friday, and we would have watched this film before this podcast episode comes out, so we wouldn't be spoiling anything to any possible person listening to this that has Cineclub.
Yeah.
How long is it? Sorry?
2 hours and 22 minutes. The Housemaid is 2 hours and 12 minutes. So my guess is it's The Housemaid.
Oh, you think they're just giving a random, a different time? Like they're fudging the time?
I don't know. Maybe it's like they're saying, hey, it's 10 minutes longer. Song Sung Blue, that's the 25th. That's 2 hours and 12 minutes as well. Marty Supreme. Let's see.
I had another theory. Well, how long did you say it was? 2 hours and
22 minutes.
Oh, 22. So the closer amount, and I thought that it might be this movie, is No Other Choice, actually. That's the other one that's more artsy. So if you have that theory that it's not, that's a kind of a good bet too. Also, did you look up Marty Supreme? Did you say that one already?
Yeah, it's 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, so closer. That so that one's that was more likely.
2 hours 30. Sorry, 2 hours 30.
Oh, so it's probably not that one.
Yeah,
because they wouldn't want to overestimate. I have no idea. Who knows?
Yeah,
I love how we just went through the Look to the Future segment.
Yeah,
and we're going to do that at the end.
Yeah, we won't do that at the end now.
It's over.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So sorry, Simon. 1 minute.
It's all good.
I just got to pause here real quick.
Oh,
just real quick.
Is another call?
Just real quick.
A call after hours call.
An after hours call. One of my coworkers is asking
You're so dedicated, dude.
Yeah, he was trying to get this over the line by the end of the day, and the guy's just not answering. So I'm going to call him now that it's after hours, maybe from a different phone number, and be like, "Hey, you know,
cool,
okay.
All right."
So I'm taking
clock starts now.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
All right, we're back.
What were you smiling at? You watching a funny video?
Yeah, I was just watching some videos on YouTube. There's a crazy Trump clip where he was at a rally somewhere, and he was like, I don't know if you saw this.
Is this one where he said the Democrats are retarded?
No, he said, he's like, do you love minors? I love minors. But the crazy thing is that he's talking about minors as like the job, but the closed captioning person messed up and they wrote minors and they spelt it wrong, and then they deleted it and then rewrote out minors MINERS instead of ORS. Yeah. So they wrote out minors, which is pretty funny because obviously there's a controversy with the Epstein situation. Yeah. Anyway, I was just watching the Daily Show, but anyway. Yes. Well, we've you've taken your after hours call. We've professed our love to each other before that, and we talked about how we're not experts, but relatable film fanatics, right? Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to the review segment of our show. So on to the stuff we've been watching. I'll throw it to you first, as is customary. I think I've changed up the format. I feel like this makes more sense. It's kind of the meat and potatoes of the show. I think this makes sense, at least for what I understand. I think that's also in the document. Yeah. So not to worry. I didn't just throw you a.
Well, you know me. I don't know how to read. So this comes as a supplies to me. This comes as a supplies to me.
Sure. But anyway, yeah. So now we're going to do the review segment. We're going to see how this works. I think this is going to go well. I think because I like to put the montage in the middle of the show. I think this still works in that capacity because the montage is a quick flow. Everything goes very quickly.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll give it to you first. Anything you've been watching, anything you want to talk about that you saw this week? We didn't go see a movie this week. We've been very busy. You just got married. I've been really working on getting married as well. So like like earlier today, I was like, we had like these little gifts for family members who are coming to the dinner. And so I drove that to the venue this morning, and it's been busy. It's been a busy time. So we didn't watch anything together, but I'm sure we watched stuff apart. I'm sure you have, especially. What have you seen? What have you watched? What have you enjoyed?
I've watched a few things. My good chap, my good pal Simon. So the one that I want to start with, obviously I have Disney Plus. I got it back for Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I forgot to cancel, so I got charged for another month. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to watch some stuff on Disney Plus while I have it. Yeah. And me and my now wife, we decided to watch a Hulu original, FX original. It's on Disney Plus here. Original series called Adults. Have you heard of it, Simon?
I have. Yes. Yeah. It's like, it's basically, we talked about it on the podcast for I think so, for the Look to the Future. I think people were calling it Friends, but in 2025.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. It's akin to your Friends, your How I Met Your Mother. And now again, you have Adults, and it's about, these 5 friends that live in a house together. And it is a awesome comedy, genuinely hilarious. And that they're all like, Gen Z, mid 20s, and just trying to get through life. Like what do I have to do to be an adult? But the fun part about this show is it's very absurd, obviously, but it is also kind of grounded in a way where you hear these conversations between these 20 something year olds. And it's like, I've had very similar conversations with my friends, and they say some offensive stuff. And, when you're just kind of riffing with your buddies, and, you say some ridiculous shit, and it feels very relatable in that sense.
Nice.
There's not much of a setup. Like, again, it is literally 5 friends living in a house together, and they're all very close. And it's just kind of, like a sitcom, different antics, happen in each episode. But there are a few episodes with guest stars. Charlie Cox, actually. Yeah, being in a few episodes of the show.
Yeah, I saw the clips of that.
Yeah, and let me tell you, there is one. So I think the entire show is hilarious. Amazing. I actually loved it. I'm so glad it's renewed for a season 2. I can't wait for the new season. This is actually something I'm going to re-up my Disney Plus subscription for once it starts releasing, because both me and my fiance loved it. But there is a dinner party episode, and there's something special about dinner party episodes and TV shows. I think of The Bear. I think of now Adults. And I think it is the prime setting to make some of the most absurd yet hilarious things occur. And I'm not even lying to you, where I was laughing so hard, I was genuinely crying at times in that episode. It is so good. Charlie Cox in particular is so amazing in that episode. It's fucking awesome. And again, it's tough to talk about because there's not really much of a story. It's literally, again, 5 people living in a house together, and they're all really close friends. There's, from different walks of life, but at the end of the day, they're, Gen Z, Americans living in the Bronx. I think that's where they live, in the Bronx in New York City, but it's very obviously filmed in Toronto. Super obvious. So you can pick up on a lot of things, just the housing, how it looks like. You're like, oh yeah, that's Toronto. I've been on the street in Toronto. And it's really good, man. I genuinely recommend this to a lot of people that just want a good laugh. Cause again, I was wheezing at times. It's nice to have kind of a sitcom. I wish, there was more than just the 8 episodes. That's really the one thing I kind of miss about it. Cause I miss the days of, those 22 episode comedy shows where every season had, 20 plus episodes. Like, again, How I Met Your Mother, Friends, New Girl, things like that, where, the shows went on longer. But typically, first seasons tend to be a little shorter in a lot of those shows. So I'm hoping maybe the second season will be picked up for a little bit more than 8 episodes. I haven't actually looked into it to see what
I feel like streaming service shows, though, that's not really the case, eh?
Yeah, so I know it's weird because it's technically an FX show, But even FX, I think traditionally will do about 10 episode seasons, even for their comedies. So I don't know. I would love for it to go longer,
network like ABC and NBC, ABC.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like CBS, like those Fox, they're going to do like Last Man Standing and they'll have like 20 episodes a season, or The Office on NBC. But it's not really common on like those networks as well. Like AMC doesn't do it either. AMC I don't know if any AMC comedies actually, not that I think about it. I don't know, but that's another one. It's AMC and FX I think of are kind of similar. They're like cable networks that are, from my understanding, they're similar.
Yeah, anyway. I think that's actually a very fair comparison, like those two. So but I truly loved it. Like genuinely, one of the funniest shows I've watched. And it's kind of unfortunate because although it's different from I Love LA that I've been watching week to week, I think this show is I think like a lot better. They're going for a very similar audience, Gen Z living in insert town here or city here, and like kind of what are they doing with their lives. But I think adults kind of masters the character, like they know their characters really well and put them into ridiculous situations. And it is really about all 5 of them and how they get along together in this house. Whereas I Love LA, it's a little bit more segmented. And I still really like I Love LA. My issue with I Love LA, though, with the most recent episode in particular, is Rachel Sennett's character specifically gets kind of shittier as the season goes on. It's still funny, but you're kind of like, oh man, like don't do that. It's like your boyfriend Josh Hutcherson is so nice. Like you gotta calm down a bit. Why are you acting so crazy? Sort of thing. So again, I still really love I Love LA. There's a couple of really good jokes, but I think watching adults so close to it, it kind of made me realize like, oh, you know what? Like actually adults really hit the mark and did this style of comedy a little bit better. But again, very different people because I Love LA is, based in Los Angeles and they're all like influencers. Like I'm, rich and ditzy sort of thing. Whereas adults is like, we live in New York. We're poor. We live in a house together of 5 people. It's, shit's going crazy. And again, I think that's a little bit more relatable, at least for, someone like myself. Yeah. Genuinely loved it. Probably my favorite thing that I watched this week. And then I watched 2 other things, Simon.
Okay.
I watched, because it's leaving Netflix actually in like 2 days. Now You See Me, and Now You See Me as well.
Now You See Me Too.
Yeah. So
you almost said Now You Don't, but that's the name of the new movie, so that would have been confusing. Exactly. So then you stopped yourself. Is that what that was? Okay.
Yeah, cool. And that's why I said as well.
It's like, the third one for some reason. They didn't think of that somehow for the second one. Now You See Me, Now You Don't is not for some reason an apt title for the second one. They decided to call it Now.
These movies are interesting. So I'll kind of talk a little bit about the first one more. Have you seen these? I think I asked you.
I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. I saw it very recently. I saw the first one this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think the first one is the perfect definition of a popcorn film. It's nothing.
Sure. It's special. Riddled with plot holes.
It is riddled with like a lot of plot holes, actually. Especially once you get to the end, you're like, though. What? But it's
got a good cast. The cast is
exactly
all-star.
A shockingly good cast, dude. It's crazy how good the fucking cast is. Michael Caine, Morgan Freeman. Like, come on, dude. What?
It's weird because it's a magician's movie again, and it's got Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine in it. Because isn't that The Prestige? Yeah. The Prestige has both of them. Wait, no, is Morgan Freeman not in that one?
Morgan Freeman's not in The Prestige, I don't think. But Michael Caine definitely is.
No, I'm confused. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking of Batman.
Dark Knight.
I guess. Yeah, because Nolan reuses his actors in a lot of things. I thought for some reason that... Okay, never mind. So, but never mind. It's not even related at all. It's just one actor.
Both movies about magicians. But I think that the first one is really fun. It's wacky. It's a little bit over the top. And the most interesting part about it is like the main cast who you think that you're going to follow, your Jesse Eisenberg, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, and why am I forgetting? Oh my goodness.
Mark Ruffalo?
No, bald.
Did you say Mark Ruffalo? You already said him?
No, but I'm talking about the main 4 cast of the magicians. Woody Harrelson's. Sorry. I don't know why I was saying Bruce because you said Mark Ruffalo. Because Bruce Banner. Anyways. Woody Harrelson. And going into this, I was like, oh yeah, these are the main characters, but actually they're not. They're kind of the antagonists all throughout the movie. You're actually following Mark Ruffalo's character and this French Interpol agent, and like they are chasing them down. It's weird based on that. And again, it is just kind of like this fun movie. And I think I asked you this on another episode, because I was like, are the Now You See Me, like, are they actual magicians, or are they like wizards? Are they mages?
No. But kind of.
The first one, they do a really good job explaining everything that happens, and you're like, okay, I can believe that to a certain
but that's
degree.
My issue with the first movie, though. I feel like if there's like a twist at a certain point that I'm like, I don't buy that you told the actors the twist, that you had planned this the whole time. That was kind of the problem for me, is when I got to the end of the movie, I'm like, are you sure though that you planned this the whole time? Because I think back on it, because if you think back on a great example is The Prestige, and you look back on every little thing that was chosen, it was clearly, if you watch that a second time, you're seeing all the Easter eggs of what exactly they revealed
is occurring. Yeah.
And that's part of the theme of the movie is, are you watching closely? That's kind of the whole idea.
Yeah.
And like the first shot is like I think the first shot of The Prestige, or one of the first ones, is the hats in the field, or or the cats or whatever. And you're like, are you watching closely? Like, we're hinting it constantly. Are you going to figure it out or not? And so this is the thing with this movie. I don't think they do it that well, but you're trying to say that the next movie that they basically are using magic.
Yeah.
Because they don't explain it.
Once you get into Now You See Me,
I didn't see the second one.
No, the weird part is they still kind of explain it, but it is way more far-fetched the second time around. And the second movie is demonstrably worse. Like, it is a noticeable step down, and it goes from, the first one being like, this isn't a great movie, but it's fun, to this movie is longer than the first. It's more boring than the first, and it's nowhere near as fun. And then they also don't have Isla Fisher in it. They replace her with Lizzie Kaplan. And she's a different character. But she's a different character. And then she shows up and she's like, I'm now part of the Four Horsemen as well with you guys. And it's like, there are events that happen in the movie that reference the first one. And they're like, I wonder if you guys remember me. And she's just there. And she's like, I do. Like, not actually, she doesn't say it out loud, but like, I was following you guys for a while since you betrayed me in the first movie. And she's like, yeah. She's just like nodding along. I'm like, but you weren't there. Like, this guy has actually no vendetta against you specifically, Lizzie Kaplan. You actually just showed up 2 days ago. And it's like, I think they literally realized, because I looked into this. Isla Fisher wasn't able to come back because she was pregnant at the time. So I think they wrote the movie with Isla Fisher in mind. And then they're like, oh, she can't make it back. So we're just going to add this one scene at the beginning to change her character to be a little bit different, and then adjust the dialogue to be a little bit more quirky, and add in some random romantic subplot with this character. And it just does not work as a whole.
But they are filming Lizzie Kaplan. They know she's in it. So all of those scenes, just write them better, maybe rewrite them a little bit more efficiently. Yeah. I feel like what do you, that doesn't make any sense to me. I have to see it. Yeah. Or should I? Because it's a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I'm not sure it's worth it.
Dude, if you think, I mean, again, I think I'm a little bit more forgiving for a lot of things like plot holes and stuff like that, as long as I'm having a good time. This movie wasn't that much of a good time. So I think you are going to watch it and be like, yeah, this is just a bad movie, and not see as much in it.
There's also an element of it like being worse if I go to the theaters to watch it. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm seeing plot holes and I went to the theaters, like, there's an element of like, I know I'm going in for a bad movie and I'm going to watch it. And it's like, I know it's bad. It's a 34%. I think I'm less forgiving on a movie like Companion, because I feel like Companionship. Sorry. Companion.
No, it is Companion. Just Companion.
Sorry. Yeah. But Companion, I love it. I like it. It's so good. And the idea is so good. And there's so many great things in it, but then it's ruined by things that shouldn't. They're just so easy to write out of it. Like, you can write it better than that and you wouldn't have that issue, but you just were lazy. And that's kind of like, that annoys me more, because of the production design, the music, the acting was so good in that. And I went to see it in theaters. I bought a ticket. But if I'm at home, I'm like, this is a 34% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm just going to eat some popcorn. I'm going to put some Orville Redenbacher in my microwave and just like chill. You know what I mean? That I can kind of forgive it. I think expectations are the thief of joy, so you kind of have to. Where your head's at also matters too. But I mean, it wouldn't affect my score. I'm sure I would still give it a 2 or a 1 or something. But,
I mean,
still,
hey, man,
it could be fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch it. It goes off Netflix on the day that you're getting married. So just watch it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, watch it on the day. I'm just not going to go to the. I'm not going to go to the chapel.
Yeah, you can skip it. That's fine.
Yeah.
So just do it up. But yeah, again, it's not awful, but it's really not good. You know what it kind of reminded me of in a weird way? It kind of reminded me of, remember that, just because you brought it up, you know, like going to a theater for like a bad movie that is, you know, rated poorly. Remember that, what is it called? The Circle?
Oh, God.
Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, remember that movie?
That was really
bad. That was a bad movie, right?
Crazy cast, though. Crazy cast.
Crazy cast. And that's similar to Now You See Me Too. Crazy cast, movie riddled with plot holes, not that good. The Circle, way worse. Way worse. Yeah. But again, it kind of reminded me of that. So
The Circle's crazy because it has Tom Hanks in it. I don't think Tom Hanks makes bad decisions with his movie choices, like ever. Like I it's very rare. I wouldn't say it's ever, but it's rare. I find more rare. I think, I don't know. I wouldn't want to say he's choosy, but I feel like, I mean, Marvel. Do you think Marvel tried to get him? I feel like they did, and he's like, nah.
Probably.
You know, it's Tom Hanks. Like, you can probably get him as like a general or something. You know. But they don't have him on the cast.
General Grievous in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Bring him in.
Very well-known actor. Character from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, General Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
indeed.
Okay. So yeah, I watched that.
Cool.
And then again, final thing, because I've only watched 3 episodes of it. But again, I got Disney Plus. So I'm like, what can we watch on Disney Plus? And Cassandra brought this up to me, my wife Cassandra. Not sure if you know, I'm married. She's been wanting to watch the show Scream Queens for a while.
Oh yeah, cool.
You hear about that? It's Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
In it. She's like one of the main characters, along with Glenn Powell, my guy, my boy.
Great.
Glenn, he's in it. So that's all I needed to hear to watch this. And Scream Queens is really good, actually. Yeah. It's very over the top and campy and also like slapstick in a lot of ways, which I wasn't fully expecting. It's like the in-between. So like Scream, I think, is like just genuinely amazing movies, but it's also pretty funny, and it's, you know, like a murder mystery whodunit. And then you look at a movie like Scary Movie, the first one, that is a parody of Scream, but like going super far into that like absurdity and like, you know, slapstick humor. And I would say Scream Queens falls kind of in the middle of those two movies, maybe leaning a little bit more towards Scary Movie, but not as absurd. And it's just, it's a vibe. The interesting part, Simon, is this is a comedy. They're hour-long episodes. They're 44-minute long episodes.
Whoa! What the hell?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I know. So I think by definition it can't be a comedy, but that's what they say. That's what they say.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty much the premise is, you know, it's a sorority, and all of a sudden the sorority sisters and people like in the sorority house start getting murdered by essentially the school mascot. The crazy part about this show is, again, it's a pretty darn good cast, with Emma Roberts, you know, being quite big, Glenn Powell being super big now, super handsome now, especially.
Not then though, certainly.
Yeah, and not then. But now he's big. And then Jamie Lee Curtis, she's like one of the deans, like she's a major character in it as well, which I had no idea. So again, pretty stellar cast there. And it's just like a fun little watch. Not nothing spectacular, but really enjoyable, and I'm vibing with it. I'm in the mood for something like this. I kind of wish we watched it closer to Halloween, but you know, it's kind of nice leading up to the Christmas season watching a horror comedy like this. But anyways,
sweet.
That's all I've really been watching. I'll talk about It, Welcome to Derry when it's done next week, but
okay,
I don't want to be redundant.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
What did you watch,
I've watched a few things, but I'm just going to talk about one, and I basically got caught up on all 4 episodes of Stranger Things season 5.
Nice.
And it's very good. Very much like it. I very much like it. It's funny. I never drew any comparison between Stranger Things, and although it is kind of similar in some, like in many aspects, I just didn't think about it like this. But I feel like the Stranger Things connection to Harry Potter, I never really thought of, and I feel like it's The Boy Who Lived is kind of like a major plot line. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit. And there's an element of like Noah Schnapp he doesn't act that dissimilarly to Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. This is interesting. I really like the fifth season so far. The really annoying gap between the episodes because there's just not that many of them. But the cool thing about it is that the episodes are longer. They're like mini movies, which I think you mentioned when we talked about it a few weeks ago. So it's cool. It's great. Something that's interesting. Frank Darabont. I don't know if you saw this. Directed the second episode, I think it is, which is crazy because I don't think he's directed anything since since The Walking Dead. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean,
since that weird lawsuit.
That episode for one is remarkable. It's such a good episode of television, but it is just really cool to see him come back direct. I mean, he arguably has directed one of the greatest movies of all time with like Shawshank Redemption. Like a lot of people consider that to be one of the greats. And it's like, he came in, I'm going to direct an episode of Stranger Things. I noticed that right away. And I pointed that out to my now wife. I don't know if you know, I'm married now, Simon.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy.
I pointed it to my now wife and I was like, oh my goodness, it's Frank Darabont. She's like, oh, like, do you know who that is? She's like, no.
Why'd you say and not ask?
She's like, oh. I think sometimes she just doesn't care that much. She's like, I just want to watch this and enjoy it. Which is fair.
That's fair.
Yeah, man, I really love those first 4 episodes. I'm glad that you enjoyed them as well. I don't think they're as strong as season 4 because I was watching it so close, but I still really am intrigued as to where it's going. And again, as we talked about previously, Stranger Things does such a good job on the unlikely pairings and what they do in this season with specific characters.
So
And I don't know. I really loved it, man. I really loved it.
It's great. Yeah, there's that. I think there's some, especially in like the last couple episodes, I feel like there's some potential plot holes or like some like weird gaps in thinking for the characters that I don't really enjoy. I'm kind of like thrown off by it. I'm like, I don't know if they would have made this decision. They're so careful and now they're going to do this. There's an element of that, especially with like David Harbour. I'm like, come on, man. Are you sure? Your character, Hopper is going to make that decision here. I'm not sure. It just seems a strange. Like there's some leaps in logic that I'm not a big fan of, but I don't think they're holes that really break anything. Especially when you get to the end, it seems to work out in the way that it's plotted by the end of it. But yeah, I really liked it a lot. And I'll also say there's something interesting actually that happened, and it's going to be completely related to we're going to go into a next segment, although it's going to be split up now. So I don't know. We'll see how this format works. But the Duffer Brothers said something interesting when the episodes came out. Did you see what they said? Maybe they said something else that you saw too. But
I'm not too sure. They
said that they were basically recommending certain TV features to shut off and turn on so that you get the best color grading for the actual episodes because they put so much effort into making their Netflix TV show look as good as it could be. So essentially the director's intent. Okay. There is a specific way that you can get the director's intent that's pretty perfect. Actually, it's the only way that you can ensure that the director's intent is relayed to the audience. Do you know what this is? You do. It's a trick question. It's an easy question, I guess, but you're drinking water.
Turning off motion flow?
No. No, that won't just fix it. The colors are going to be whack. They were like worried about color. Mode. They were about color grading. They were concerned about color grading. No. There's a way that to deliver the most accurate picture to an audience.
Oh, calibrating.
The simplest
your
way.
Display.
No, the simplest way to get it.
I feel
the simplest way to get an audience
pressure
to see exactly what you made in the most simple way possible without having them, because they're not tech savvy enough. They're not going to be able to know what to do. They're just not going to click anything. They don't know what to do. And this is something that Netflix currently doesn't believe in. They might decide that they believe in it, but currently they don't believe in it. It is going to the theaters. And they don't believe in going to the theaters. And I think it's so ironic that the Duffer Brothers are like, oh, you go in there and click. They're not going to. It's a granny. They don't know how to do it. Or it's a young child. They don't know. Nobody knows how to go on their TV and completely calibrate it. Or it's not even about not knowing. They don't have the time. People are busy. That's the point of Netflix. So I think it's terribly ironic that Netflix doesn't seem to care about delivering the director's intent or thinking, I guess, ironically, that people would just get the best experience on a phone. Actually, phones would probably give you the better experience. If you're watching on an iPhone, the calibration of True Tone and giving you like Dolby Vision on an iPhone, actually in the current like lineup of newer iPhones, it actually does deliver potentially a good color rating experience. But when you're on most TVs, especially because they're shipped out of the box in standard or vivid mode, no one knows what to do. Even to this day, I'll be fiddling around. I'm playing The Last of Us Part 2, right? And the HDR implementation on that game is pretty immaculate. It's really good. And so I can go in and I'm realizing like, well, my TV is a little bit not bright enough here, and I'm trying to make sure that it is as calibrated as it should be, not just for The Last of Us, but I thought The Last of Us is a good kind of high watermark, so that I can then trickle it down to, you know, games that don't have the best HDR implementation. And that's something I care about because I'm an enthusiast, but that's not everyone. That's me. That's potentially you, right? With a nice TV, you just purchased a new TV. Yeah,
I spent probably an hour setting up the picture quality for different settings and making sure it's connected to my PS5 properly. All that. I was watching HD TV Test, awesome YouTube channel. I really like that guy, and he'll break down best settings for specific TVs. So yeah. Hey man, it's because we're not cinephiles. That's why we do it.
yeah. That's not making my argument from before, obviously. So I get your joke, but yeah. So the point I'm making is, I think it's hilarious that they would even bother, because I'm so sorry you chose Netflix. Like, and weirdly, their finale's in theaters, which I think that's probably why they left Netflix. Because they're like, we put all this effort into the color grading. The funny thing is, I was watching the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things, and my TV, I had toned down the highest brightness level of my TV, and I'd been playing around with it, and I was just trying to get it right, so it was exactly, again, close to the director's intent as possible. And I realized I had something wrong because I was watching the first episode of Stranger Things season 5, and I had to have lights on the room because we were eating at the time, and like, I didn't have quite the right color, like not the color grading, but the brightness, because it was too dark to see. Like, that's not the way they wanted it. There's no way the Duffer Brothers wanted it to be too dark to see. Yeah. And I remembered that they had said that on some interview, that they were like, oh, turn off. But to your point, you said motion flow, right? Turn off motion flow. That's called something different in everything. They were railing against the soap opera effect, which is caused by those technologies, where it smooths the frame rates to make it look, I don't even know what the point of doing that is. It's useful to make it look worse, but pretty much it just makes it worse in everything except for sports, because sports, it helps because it's bridging the frame, so the puck going across an ice or a ball across the sky in football or something, or a golf ball, you can kind of see it in more detail if you have a TV that can do it, but it's really not useful overall. Because it creates a soap opera effect. So they were saying turn that off, but mainly the color grading was what they were focused on, because they were worried that people weren't going to get the best effect. I think they were worried that their show was too dark, which is a fair thing to worry about, because I did have that issue myself. And then I was like, oh, I don't have it in the right spot. And the fact that they care about it that much made me know they put the effort in. I know that if I make my TV look good here on this show, the next show I watch on, I don't know, if I'm watching a show on Amazon Prime Video that wasn't necessarily, they didn't take the care to make sure the color grading was right, that every other show is going to look as good as it should. And so that was the idea. But we'll get to that in a second, because we're going to talk about the theatrical experience when it comes to Netflix shortly. But before we do that, let's move on now, Adrian, to a segment that we've been doing forever. Now on to the montage, Adrian, a sequence of our show in which I briefly present at least 7 of the bi-week smaller news stories as Adrian delivers a brisk verdict. Number 1. According to publication Deadline, Shogun Emmy Award-winning director Frederick E. Toy has been hired on as director for Amazon's upcoming God of War TV series adaptation from For All Mankind creator Ronald D. Moore.
Wow, they're getting some good talent attached to this show.
Indeed.
Renewed for 2 seasons, or renewed for a 2nd season already as well.
I think that was news from a long while ago, right? They've been greenlit for 2 seasons, like months back.
I don't remember.
I think so. I think we talked about that.
Cool.
But yes. Number 2, according to publication The Hollywood Reporter, Fast 5 director Justin Lin has been hired on to direct the film adaptation of the PlayStation video game Helldivers 2 for Sony Pictures.
Wonderful. That seems okay, maybe. We'll find out, I guess.
Number 3, Paramount has greenlit a mystery Sonic sequel film to air after the March 19th, 2027 release of Sonic 4. This new Sonic movie is scheduled for a December 22nd, 2028 release date.
Oh my goodness, who could it be? You think it could be a Shadow sequel, Simon?
Keanu?
Do you think it could be a Rogue the Bat?
Keanu's, I feel like, a crowd pleaser.
He is.
I feel like Shadow, because he played Shadow, right?
He did. Yeah, he is. He plays Shadow.
That's not a bad idea.
Even in the game.
Those movies sold a lot. It's crazy. And he's in the game, yeah. Number 4, according to Nexus Point News, and backed by publication Variety, Jojo Rabbit star Scarlett Johansson is in talks to star in the Robert Pattinson starring The Batman Part 2 for director Matt Reeves.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. I hope she plays Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's so Mr. Freeze is one of the most grounded of Batman villains in this universe.
I feel like he could do something really cool with that.
I don't know. Do you think he's gonna go wacky?
Yeah. I mean, maybe you don't even go wacky. You just go like a guy that has his dead wife frozen and he's trying to resurrect her and he's going crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can do a spin on it. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. Number 5, HBO's Game of Thrones spin-off A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms has begun production on its recently renewed Season 2. Season 1 releases January 18th, 2026, while Season 2 is scheduled for a 2027 release date.
Dude, I was just saying, hopefully them renewing it early means that we don't have to wait 2 years, which is awesome. With my luck, though, it's going to release in December of 2027, so practically still be 2 years, but whatever. Hey, at least it's something.
Better than nothing. Number 6, as reported by publication Variety, Paramount is working on a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live-action film that is set to release on November 17th. Of 2028.
Wow, that's awesome. And I think this is gonna still exist like at the same time as the Mutant Mayhem universe, which is that Seth Rogen universe that he was creating or heading.
You're saying they're just making them, they're gonna keep making both. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. I think they're still making a sequel to that Mutant Mayhem movie.
But they're not related.
I think that's next year.
They're not.
No, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Like two separate running in tandem.
Gotcha. Number 7. Disney and ABC have extended their contract with Jimmy Kimmel for the longtime host to continue hosting the ABC late-night TV show Jimmy Kimmel Live through 2027.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. Who are they going to hire for Jimmy Kimmel Live except for Jimmy Kimmel? Come on, dude.
Yes, but he could retire. You know what I'm saying. Number 8. The Golden Globes nominees were recently announced on December 8th, with the most nominees going to director Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another, with 9 nominations. The Globes will air on January 11th, 2026, with comedian Nikki Glazer hosting.
Wow, pretty cool. We'll see what happens.
Number 9. Avenue 5 actor Hugh Laurie has been cast as an archaeology professor in Brooklyn Nine-Nine creator Mike Schur's upcoming archaeological excavation comedy series, Dig. The Peacock series will also be written by Only Murders on the Building writer Jay Philbin and will star Parks and Recreation actor Amy Poehler in a starring role.
Oh, okay, cool. Pretty interesting. Piques my interest.
And that concludes the montage. All right. We did it. All right. Okay, cool. So this format is completely jumbled up. So our next segment, Adrian, is to dive into a trilogy of news, a component of our show where we discuss at least 3 film and TV industry news stories that have been somewhat zeitgeisty over the past 2 weeks. Before we get into that, I'll explain why I jumbled this, actually. You know what's funny is that a long while ago, way long ago, like when we were on episode 70 of the first run of this podcast, your mom actually criticized the podcast because we didn't get into reviews soon enough. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's kind of the meat and potatoes. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. So when I rebooted it when we rebooted it and then we kind of went back on it, I think I put the reviews in the beginning, but then it kept getting shuffled because I would put like a tiny quick bites of news in the beginning. And then the quick bites of news kept getting larger and larger and larger segments. And I just kept pushing the reviews to the middle or the end. And I was like, no, I'm going to move it legitimately to the beginning now, because I think that's a good idea. Anyone who's maybe tuning into this, they can tune out if they're not interested in us. Maybe they just want to see the reviews. This podcast, Split Focus, a film and TV podcast, is on the Just Another Review YouTube channel. Let's get to the reviews after the banter. That's the strategy. We'll see if it works. I don't think it will really matter in the end, but I think it's a good strategy. So it's really your mom. Your mom did this.
Shout out to my mom.
From like literally 3 years ago.
Right on.
It was her suggestion like 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, so the first bit of news in this trilogy of news, Adrian, is a huge one. This is probably the biggest news story we've probably ever talked about in this, at least the first, this like 25 episodes of this 100 and like past the moment we soft rebooted here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that Netflix won the bidding war to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery and will finalize that deal at $83 billion in order to secure the merger in the coming months, which is predicted to take at least potentially 18 months to finalize. Maybe longer now, though, because there's something else that has a little wrinkle. But ultimately, many important organizations in the film and TV industry were very skeptical about this particular deal, the Netflix buying Warner Brothers, and they were worried about the deal going through in the end, and they wanted regulators to take a hard look at it, including the Writers Guild of America, who was really, really against it, and then a bunch of like other unions and things like that were kind of scared about what would happen. The theater industry is scared too. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, in general, the Writers Guild of America was largely criticizing the deal. But then a few days later after that, billionaire David Ellison and his company Paramount, so Paramount Skydance, they believe that they haven't lost this war for this bidding war. They were basically in a bidding war with Netflix. It was Netflix, Paramount, and Comcast. Comcast is NBC, Peacock, those guys. So Comcast obviously wasn't even. Comcast is like, oh, we lost. Oh well, better luck next time. And billionaire David Ellison, I guess, isn't used to losing, and so he decided that he would do a hostile takeover and take his bid of $108 billion directly to Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders and just go past the board altogether. That was their strategy. And their different deal here is that they're taking over the entire company, including CNN and that whole Discovery portion. Whereas the deal from Netflix, from my understanding, was going to split off CNN and go, which would land in the Discovery portion, which would be theoretically sold off separately or exist on its own. Mm-hmm. So that's a different deal in general, but they're bringing this giant deal, which is one of the biggest potential hostile takeover offers ever in history.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We haven't talked about this too much. Obviously, this happened just before your wedding, pretty much. Like it was a few days before, and there was not much to. We saved it for the podcast, but I think this deal also happened like right after our last episode aired, or like the day it aired, or something. So there's been a big gap of time where things have happened, and there's been lots of discussion about it, and people saying, "Oh, this is not going to work out," or "What's going to happen to the theater industry?" So I'll just let you pick at it from whatever angle you want to first, and we'll go from there. But what do you think about this situation? And then what do you think about David Ellison? Maybe we'll go to that after. Just do it wherever you want to go. Whatever you want to talk about first.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is pretty crazy because, yeah, like I was kind of confused about, because I think Netflix also mentioned that they didn't value Warner Brothers gaming division at all in their $83 billion bid, which is weird considering Netflix themselves has their own gaming division. Like they own studios. You can play video games on Netflix. You can play Red Dead Redemption on Netflix right now on your iPhone, you know?
Yeah.
So
right.
it was kind of confusing that they, said that out loud and said like, oh yeah, we weren't really valuing the gaming division as anything. Whereas Paramount, they don't, I guess Skydance has like a gaming division to a certain degree.
Yeah,
and
they do.
They are.
So they guess and they do in tandem. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. It is an interesting idea about that. And yeah, again, David Ellison kind of going past the board and doing this hostile takeover. With the most frustrating part about all this, from just like a back end point of view, is they are bidding money that they don't even have. Both of these companies. They don't have $83 billion to spend. They don't have $108 billion to spend. They're leveraging, on the back end and just taking over these companies or buying these companies with money for nothing. And then, I guess, paying it back over time through profits that they're getting. It makes no sense to me how they're spending this much money and somehow still making money. You know what I mean? Again, I'm no financier. And I don't have a full understanding of that. I just think it's pretty bananas. Now,
well, they would just loan it. They would just loan it from the bank, theoretically, or from other entities.
Exactly. But again, it's like, how are you going to make back $80 billion in profit over how much time? I don't know. I just find it so weird that we can even do this, that businesses can even do that and just go into billions upon billions of dollars in debt and you have people on the streets asking for a $10,000 loan and getting denied. It's stupid and it's frustrating. And I don't know. I hate.
Well,
this.
I mean, it's all based on proven track record. Like
fair enough.
Netflix is making lots of money every year. And Warner Brothers just had a $4 billion year at the box office. So theoretically, they're making lots of profit. Who knows how long it would take to make it back.
Repay it.
But yeah, it is.
I mean,
weird
decades, presumably.
It would take, it would take a couple of decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people on the street, they can't get a $10,000 loan because they have no credit. That's what the point of a credit check is. If you can't pay it back, how can you take a loan kind of thing? Yeah. But Warner Brothers, theoretically, Netflix would theoretically be good on it. You're right, though. It isn't fair.
Assuming
to poor people.
In general,
our society is rigged against poor people in general. It's just, that's the way it is. But yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of frustrating watching this unfold. And I don't know, man, at the end of the day, I think this is kind of a lose-lose situation. What I found super interesting, though, is when the deal went through, quote unquote, with Netflix. Did you get an email from Netflix being like, welcome Warner Brothers to the Netflix family? We're going to start adding HBO content onto Netflix. I was like, this is crazy, man.
No, they said it's not changing today. They said nothing changes today. That's what they specifically said.
But that they plan to add HBO content onto Netflix in the future. Didn't they say that? I mean, I can pull up the email.
I thought they were kind of, bring it up if you can, because I thought it was trying to say that nothing is changing today, but we're excited to see where like this content goes. I thought they were saying for now HBO will exist on HBO, which is weird because we don't have HBO. So I think they were kind of saying get ready for it, but they weren't really. I know, you correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I don't remember it.
Yeah, no, I think you are right, because it just says like we announced that Netflix will. So I'll read the whole email just to add it into the content. So, Hi Adrian, we recently announced that Netflix will acquire Warner Bros., including its film and television studios HBO Max and HBO. This unites our leading entertainment services with Warner Bros. Iconic stories, bringing some of the world's most beloved franchises like Harry Potter, Friends, The Big Bang Theory, Casablanca, Game of Thrones, and the DC universe together with Stranger Things, Wednesday, Squid Game, Bridgerton, and K-pop Demon Hunters. What's changing? Nothing is changing today. Both streaming services will continue to operate separately. We have more steps to complete before the deal is closed, including regulatory and shareholder approvals. You'll hear from us when we have more to share. In the meantime, we hope you'll continue watching. We hope you'll continue to enjoy watching as much as you want, whenever you want, on your current membership plan. Okay, so maybe I misread it. Maybe I misunderstood at the time. So yeah, you're definitely correct. I guess they're not adding it right away.
Well, they can't. From that, they have to wait for it to close anyway. So it's just like when Activision was purchased by Microsoft. There was no Call of Duty deal until it closed. Then it was Call of Duty was suddenly on Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah,
but here's the thing, that didn't work out. That's a great example of a deal that just went through. Huge tech conglomerates bought each other, right? Like we have Microsoft buy Activision, huge video game developer, publisher that makes so many games, but the most important one being Call of Duty. And Call of Duty costs billions of dollars to make, essentially.
Yeah.
Year on year on year. So it's insane. So you buy all that stuff. And then what ends up happening is typically, and this happens every single time, we talked about why we didn't want a merger in the first place a few weeks ago. And probably last week and the week before that, I don't remember. But every episode we keep talking about it because there is no, on a consumer perspective, we don't win. I know that Ted Sarandos can talk about how, it's Netflix is going to get better. It's like, but your Netflix is going to go up in price. You're going to make only the IP that makes you the most money. That is the money. That is the IP you're going to make, and you're going to fire a bunch of employees because you're going to have a bunch of redundancies. So there's going to be less people employed at the biggest companies that make the biggest films, Netflix and Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they're going to make the cuts. They're going to make them. Like, I think that's inevitable, honestly. And then I think the problem is Netflix buying the IPs like the DC universe is shitty because it doesn't end up helping like their independent IP, like Stranger Things float to the top. Stranger Things is a completely new IP, not new now, but it was new when they made it. They developed it themselves, which is really cool. And that's really a neat idea, is creating new ideas and then making a show out of it is really cool. Man on the Inside, a popular comedy show. Like, name another 15 shows. Squid Game. Like, there's so many big. Bridgerton, huge, original. They're all original, unless Bridgerton was a book. Was it a book? Actually, that I have no idea. True. That one I'm not sure. Squid Game, I'm pretty sure, was separate. Anyway, the point is that there's so many of these big shows, and that's awesome. But they made them themselves because they didn't have the IP. But now they got HBO. Now they have HBO content. They have all these different relationships. So are they going to keep making the same amount of content? No, they're not going to probably do that because they want to make money. So they're going to make less, but they're going to make it work on their platform, and they're probably going to shut down HBO, which is worse choice for us. Like in some way, like, because then you have to buy Netflix. This is $40 a month. It'll be $40 a month. Let's be real. Like HBO Max is how much money? Crave for us is so much. I assume
Crave for free, but yeah,
HBO content won't be on Crave anymore. I assume that will be the case. That probably has to be the case.
It's funny though, but because like then what content will Crave have? The odd Crave original? Like it'll so devalue it'll just devalue this existing service to such an extent, and then what? They're just going to decrease the subscription price. It's like, no, like I guess they'll have stars, but I don't know.
They'll have to. They're going to bleed. They're going to shut down.
Yeah.
They're going to shut down. They'll have stars, but the stars isn't even a part of the main service. You have to pay for it separately.
Yeah.
Crave is, for those who don't know, Crave is a Canadian streaming service we just have here in Canada. We don't get HBO Max here. That's why we're talking about it. But
yeah,
I will say this, something else that's really funky, right? Apple licenses a lot from Warner Brothers. F1, the movie, weird name, but very popular. F1.
Yeah.
F1, the movie, came out this year. Huge box office success. Awesome. It's a Warner Brothers movie. That's that's the studio that they basically licensed it from, which is awesome. Yep. That's not the only Warner Brothers thing that Apple TV is involved in. Two notable ones.
Ted Lasso are the two big ones.
Right. And so Ted Sarandos seemed to insinuate that they're going to continue that deal with Apple and other streaming services because they had that existing deal in place. And the interesting thing is that, if I can pull up the name of the gentleman, but there's a person who used to be an Apple exec. Sorry, it used to be a Warner Brothers exec. I'm saying literally every single studio. Why don't I just say Paramount and then also Compass? No, it's a Netflix exec. Ted Sarandos worked with this guy. He's working over at Warner Brothers now. Now he will be both Warner Brothers and Netflix, I guess. But the idea is that they basically bought this guy, and this guy was the guy who was licensing content to Apple. So Ted Sarandos was like, I like the job this guy's doing. We're going to keep it. We're actually good with it. We were never doing this business before. We never made content and gave it away to anyone else. We weren't big enough. Why would we do that? Doesn't make sense. Warner Brothers, that was their business because they weren't in streaming until kind of more recently. HBO Max wasn't really that big or didn't exist. Netflix existed long before anyone else. And they basically single-handedly won the streaming wars, I guess, in comparison to everyone else. I think Disney's doing very well, though. I'm trying to find this guy's name, but I can't find it. So that part is safe. That was what I was worried about as well, because I want more seasons of shrinking, and I don't want them pulling it from that service. There's something about shrinking in Ted Lasso that feels quintessentially Apple, though. I don't know. Like they clearly put effort into figuring out that this was going to be a show that would work on their service. So it's like, I don't know. That's I hope that stays. But there's a question of like, there is the Phil Spencer of Microsoft Xbox saying a bunch of things when that deal was going to go through to the FTC or whatever.
Yep.
When they were going through that deal, when they were buying Activision, and there was a lot of scrutiny, there was a lot of like, oh yeah, we're going to do this. Oh yeah, our price isn't going up for a Game Pass. Not to worry. It's gone up a tremendous amount. It went up 33%. No, 50% this year.
Yeah,
right?
It was 50% increase. Yeah.
Right. Which is remarkably high. And there's a reason why that is. It's because
and to be fair,
it's got to be.
From that lawsuit, it's actually higher than 50%. Like from that FTC situation, right. It's higher than that because it went up, I think, twice prior to this huge increase, or at least once prior. Yeah, with the FTC.
So the argument was, we're not going to make cuts. We're not going to increase the price. And they did those things. So like, there's obviously, they lied to get ahead. Of course they are going to do that because there's no consequences. It's just, why wouldn't they do it? You're not going to hold them to account. They've lied and no one cares. Elizabeth Warren in Congress in the United States is like, wait, they lied. I think she did that when they increased the price. She's like, what is this? And nothing came of it. Because first of all, that Congress, I feel like, is just kind of built for big business. They just want billionaires to become trillionaires. So they don't, I don't think they care. There's like, did you hear about this? They're cutting down AI regulation. They want to cut down.
Yep.
You read this? It's crazy, man. It makes no sense. How can this be helpful for the consumer? I don't understand.
I don't know, man. All they care about is going off on a high, because they're all going to die in a few years anyways, because they're all old and fucking stupid. And they're going out rich and then ruining everything else for everyone, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Boy. But yeah, I went on a few tangents there, but there's a lot of weird things to unpack. So that's just the Netflix Warner Brothers deal. Ted Sarandos also said that he was actually, this is really weird. Oh, wait, hold on. That's why I'm not reading it properly in this article, because it's not the article I thought I was reading. Didn't open properly. Ted Sarandos also recently said that he believes in theatrical releases sort of now. Because he's like, we didn't own this business before, so now we understand it. And we're going to do it we're going to do it. I'm like, I think you're a liar.
I think he's a liar, because he said, we're still going to do theatrical releases, but we're also going to shorten the amount of time that it's out in theaters.
Kind of. But this is more recent. I don't know if you saw this more recent one. Let's see if I can open it.
Tell me.
My links aren't open properly here.
Read it to me.
Let me see. Ted Sarandos tries to assuage fears that Netflix Warner Brothers merger will collapse theatrical. We didn't buy this company to destroy that value. So the worry is, if you take out Warner Brothers, you're like losing like 30% of the market. This year, it was one of the top box office studios in the film and TV industry. Industry, obviously. Whereas Disney actually just edged them out at the end there because of Zootopia 2 and Predator Badlands. But Warner Brothers was doing very well until those movies came out. So let's see if I can find a quick quote here. In this transaction, we pick up 3 businesses we're not currently in, so we have no redundancies currently, said Sarandos. This is a Deadline article. One of them is a motion picture studio with a theatrical distribution machine. Okay. We're deeply committed to releasing those movies exactly the way they would release those movies today, said Sarandos about staying true to the theatrical release model once the streamer snaps up the 102-year-old motion picture studio, according to Deadline. Okay. All 3 of these new businesses we want to keep operating largely as they are. Oh, he just specifically said that again. And then the theatrical business, we talked a lot about that in the past, about wanting to do it because we've never been in that business. When this deal closes, we are in that business and we're going to do it. Here's the problem. We've talked about this before. Ted Sarandos doesn't believe in theatrical because he says we bring the movies to the people. They don't want to go to the movies. They don't want to go see them in theaters. And the thing is that is sort of true. He's not actually wrong about that. They do want to go to the theaters. There is a theatrical experience. It's fun. It's an event type idea. Mm-hmm. But there's a large number of people that are growing in size. There's this large group of people that are buying big screen TVs. Big screen TVs have become cheaper and cheaper. You can create a great home theater experience. It will never be as good as a theater. It would just not. Even the smallest, crappiest theater in your neighborhood is likely better than your TV, unless the sound is broken, like that one IMAX theater that we went to go see. That was terrible. Yeah. The speakers were crackling like shit for Dunkirk. But that's a different situation. That largely wouldn't happen because they'd fix it because they're a business. But the idea is his belief was we're going to bring the film. We're going to bring the films to where people are. That's the idea. It's not popular. Theatrical is dying out is his argument. The problem is he's creating a chicken and the egg issue. If you don't bring your movies to theaters, nobody's going to go see them in theaters because they're not in theaters. So it doesn't work that way. So you have to kind of think about that. There is another reason, and this is the Duffer Brothers reason. And this is the thing that I was trying to say earlier. The Duffer Brothers care about the creative intent, the director's intent. They created something with exactly the right color grading, exactly what they want it to look like. That's an art reason, though. That's not a business decision. If Ted Sarandos cares about artists, he cares about creators. He brings them the option to put things in theaters and he leaves it there. But that doesn't necessarily make you a lot of money. It does in a lot of cases. Like if you look at Nolan's movies, but a lot of the art house films, they're not making a ton of money. It's better to take Marriage Story. I guess that's why Noah Baumbach is doing that. His deal with Netflix continues with Jay Kelly as an example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Marriage Story, but he didn't do much of a theatrical release for either of those because that's not really, people aren't watching them in theaters, but that's not the best color grading and it's not the best experience still. So Noah Baumbach largely probably just accepts it, but he would probably want to have his movies in theaters. I mean, his wife does, you know?
Yeah.
Greta Gerwig forced them to put Narnia in theaters for a longer window than they'd normally do. Narnia's not coming out until, was it next year or the year after?
I honestly don't even know.
But she cares about that because she wants to create not just a big screen experience, but she wants to create a director's intent experience because you can control the experience in a theater. And so I wonder if Ted Sarandos, he doesn't care about it because he cares about shareholders and he cares about making the most money. There is situations in which you make a lot of money, like in the Minecraft movie, but these big blockbuster movies make a lot of money. But you bring The Irishman to theaters for a longer period of time, movies like that, if it was made under the Warner Brothers umbrella, or do you slowly just make it so that theaters aren't important to you again? And that's what I think will happen personally.
Yeah.
This thing. Yeah. Business is what matters, right? It's how much money can we make because we're a business. If we can't make more,
especially because you're going to be billions of dollars in debt and you got to make that money back, right?
Also, so, like the Activision deal from Microsoft is the best example ever because it's almost the same amount of money. It's $70 billion. It's not that far off. It's also one of the biggest acquisitions in history. So, and this one's 80 billion.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's kind of my whole thought process. I think, I believe he'll do the theatrical releases in the beginning, but he's kind of right that he's bringing it where people are because in reality, humans are creatures of convenience, Adrian. Mm-hmm. This is why digital games sell better, even though physical games are often cheaper on an average. It's kind of a weird, wacky thing. I was looking at Oblivion Remastered recently. You buy Oblivion Remastered in a store, regular price, not on sale. The deluxe edition is $50. The deluxe edition on the digital store, not the retail, like not at a Walmart, at a digital store, is $80. How does that make sense? There's also a lot of moments where there are $3. There's like a $3 surcharge you can find on certain games digitally. And like, what is this $3 surcharge? It's $89.99.
It is weird
for games in stores, and it's $3 more. It's like $93.50 for stores on the digital store. That doesn't make any sense. They're printing a physical good. It should theoretically be at the very least the same price. It doesn't make any sense. But people buy it because they know people are creatures of, the whole point I'm making is humans are creatures of convenience. But with the creatures of convenience idea, the large amount of people who are buying big screen TVs and whatever, they're buying projectors, whatever it's going to be, they're never going to have the experience in a theater. And eventually theaters might die completely. There will be no theaters and there'll be like a boutique theater, like the Princess Twin or something like that. And then people are going to be like, I kind of missed that. Whatever happened to those are going to be the same people who bought a TV and said, I just watch it at home. It's convenient. And I don't want to leave my house. And those are the same people that in 10 years, they're going to be like 20 years, they're going to be like, oh man, I miss that. There used to be more to do in town. There used to be more to do here.
It's because those people that are always so vocal about it, just like complaining. They don't care about what they're complaining about. They just want to complain about the new thing to complain about and be outraged about something. So, I do think agree that's true
too, though. I think that they do care, but they don't realize they do. There's a lot of I think that's like a Steve Jobs mentality. Like Steve Jobs, his mentality was like, they don't know that they want that yet. I'll show them that they want it. And that's kind of an interesting idea. But Ted Sarandos is going the opposite direction. I'm like, he's leaning into the convenience.
I'll show them that they'll miss this. I'm going to show them that they'll miss this. Is what he's
I'm not going to bring it to them though. I'm not going to give them theaters. Actually, he might do it. He'll kill theaters and then make his own. Maybe, he'll make his own theaters. He'll make his own IMAX. He's like, this is my own format. It's called Ted Max,
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, I like Ted Sarandos largely though. He does care about creators on his platform. I do think that actually, based on what I've seen, I can't prove that. I've never worked with Ted, but obviously, why would I work with him?
He seems. I have worked with him, and he seems like that kind of guy. Yeah.
What I've heard, like him talking in interviews, and I've heard, like he was on like Smartless, and Will Arnett's worked with him like several times, or he's met him several times because his projects have been on Netflix several times, like Arrested Development and Flaked and various others. So there's like that, and they respect him. They respect the model, but that business model is the advantage of Netflix being separate from Warner Brothers is that you get two business models that are distinct. And Warner Brothers is doing something very different, and that's awesome. Netflix doesn't believe in it. That's awesome. But when you merge them together, one of the things is going to win, and I think it's going to be convenience. I don't think it's going to be the Warner Brothers business model where they respect storytelling pretty drastically. It would have been neat if Comcast won the bidding war. I think that was the best of the three, in my opinion. I don't know what you think. But of the three, I would pick, I picked Zero, but I would pick Comcast. Universal, specifically, there's a reason Christopher Nolan went to Universal. So I would definitely pick Comcast. Now, of all those three, I would definitely not pick Paramount. You know why, Adrian?
No, tell me.
Here's the issue, and I don't know if you saw this story because you didn't mention this yet. So Paramount, you made a great point earlier. You said, how can they afford this? They can't, Adrian. They can't afford it because they're teaming up with literally the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. So
that's
the worst of those
cool.
Probably being Saudi Arabia. Anyway,
I mean,
Qatar is not
Let's be real.
the best either, to be honest. I think UAE is okay in some ways. I don't know. I'm not up on the politics of UAE, but Saudi Arabia, not a great combo. So it's Jared Kushner.
They'll kill journalists.
Right. So Jared Kushner is basically a part of this deal with David Ellison, and he's working with these sovereign wealth funds, the same type of deal that EA is being purchased over, because the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia just bought up EA, or they're at least trying to initiate that deal. Whether that ends up happening or not remains to be seen, but it sounds like it's going to happen because Jared Kushner is, of course, married to Ivanka Trump. So it seems this hostile takeover actually might happen. Who do I want to win? For Netflix, a homegrown American company, or Saudi Arabia? It's not like it's a Saudi Arabian company. It's literally Saudi Arabia, in which his government is really scary. I'll just say that. It's terrifying.
I don't
$24 billion are from those funds. So I think I'm going to go with
it's okay to say Netflix. That. I genuinely believe, if you're in Western society and you don't agree with that statement, I just don't really understand how. So I think it's okay to say that, their government is terrifying, man. They'll kill journalists.
Khashoggi was murdered. It's terrible that they had the freaking crown prince in the White House, and they shut down a journalist to try to argue that this was maybe a bad idea to wine and dine the guy who murdered another journalist. It seems how is this happening? It's very strange. It's a very weird world we live in right now.
Yeah, they'll kill you if you're gay, trans, whatever. They're soft launching drinking alcohol now. I don't know if you saw that, but if you're poor, you can't drink.
Great, of course.
Under a specific market cap, you're not allowed to drink alcohol. So they'll probably just kill you. I don't know. Again, I think it's okay to criticize the government. Fuck, dude, I criticize my own government. I criticize most governments. So I don't know. I think that's okay.
I criticize it because, again, they murdered an American journalist too. So what are we doing? How do you let this guy just be in your White House being dined and wined? It's just strange. It's very strange. How does that relationship work exactly? So obviously they like them now over in the United States government. So, and the thing is that Trump is he's going to approve one or the other of these deals as it goes through. Mm-hmm. So which one's going to be more likely to go through? David Ellison explicitly said, well, ours is going to be the most likely to go through. Paramount Skydance is smaller than Netflix, and therefore it's going to be easier for it to get approved. It'll be easier to get approved because you got freaking Jared Kushner involved. So there's that. So automatically there's that problem. But I just think that $24 billion coming from these sovereign wealth funds, pretty bad news. I'd rather not whitewash this. There's no point. Why are we doing that? It's absurd. I do not want anyone to get it. But that's not the world in which the United States lives in right now. They're going to approve one of the deals. They're going to, because they only care about the rich getting richer at the moment in that current government. I think that we can agree on that. Didn't they? Yeah, they just removed the healthcare subsidies for 20 million Americans or some bullshit. I don't know if you saw that. There's that crazy. That's why the government shut down. And then they folded. Yeah. So it's pretty bad. So anyway, I don't know if I just delivered that news to you, but so which one are you going to pick? Which one would you pick, huh?
I don't know. Maybe suicide.
No, you can't. There's no other way out. This is like a would you rather situation. Would you rather?
I guess Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. American company, homegrown American company. I know we're not American, we're Canadian, but yeah, fuck it. Netflix.
It's not just that though. There's also this element that they do care about creatives. And I David Ellison's a billionaire. I think his main argument is to make himself richer. Like, where did he just come up with $108 billion? It just is absurd. Like, you're willing to also just break all the rules to just get in. This is the other thing that's crazy. They're buying CNN, right? They're buying the full thing, and there's rumors that they're just going to make CNN another right-wing media outlet. You know how many right-wing media outlets there are in the States? Like, it's crazy.
Many.
It's not just Fox News. It's OAN. It's freaking what's One American News or whatever. And there's like Newsmax. There's a lot of them. If you look them up, there's a lot. Like, I don't think you need another one. And CBS is slowly becoming they were very center, and they're just becoming because they're hiring people who are very right wing to run, like, to be an ombudsman, sure, or run the actual news outlet. So that's another issue too, is that CNN is going to become a branch of the government, I guess. I don't really know. That seems to be one of the promises, because they're going to do whatever they want. They're going to just do whatever they need to close the deals from either side. Anyway, cool. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to talk about
No,
this?
I think you honestly covered most things and talked about it very well. I don't think I can add anything of value to this.
I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks. It's very annoying to me. I think, again, we agree that there's no good world in which, why we want one company or two companies fighting each other. It's just not useful for consumers. I think that's the moral of the story. You can get into the complicated politics of it, but that's not the point. I think I'm so disappointed, because when they announced that Netflix was doing it, I was like, oh, I really thought that there was a chance that they wouldn't take any deal. But I'm like, how can I think that? There's a bidding war. They want this badly. They obviously want it, and shareholders want money. There's no middle ground of like, I like ethics, says, like, whatever the Morgan Stanley investor 58. That's not a thing they care about. They want money, obviously. So the ethics of it, not necessarily in the running here. It would have been cool to keep one of the most storied studios in film industry's history alive and well and separate. But yeah, I think what it relies on is a government that is willing to just say, no, you can't buy Activision, Microsoft. No, you can't. It's better for consumers if they have choice. Let's leave it separately. But this isn't a government that cares about checked capitalism. They're into unchecked. So yeah, I'll leave it on that, and we'll talk about it again. I'm sure it'll come up in 2 weeks, because we're going to see what's going to happen with the Paramount deal. Maybe they'll choose the shareholder to be like, you know what? I want that extra cheddar.
$25 billion spread.
Yeah,
out.
But it's for more, though, to be fair. But I mean, that the Discovery portion was kind of drowning, so I'm not sure that I don't know what it's worth. Is it worth $0? I don't know. If the game division is worth nothing, according to Ted Sarandos, then you're right, though. That was a great call out, by the way. We didn't really talk about that. The game division part, what's up with that?
I don't know.
What's going to happen? Like, Hogwarts Legacy made them a lot of money. By the way, Ted Sarandos did say something about that. I looked that up. When the headline said they didn't factor it in, but they do see the value in the studios. They were like, oh, there's lots of people doing cool things. Like, the Hogwarts Legacy was very popular, whatever. They mentioned it, but I'm curious to see what comes of that, because it's their division. They're one of the weakest publishers right now. It wasn't the case a few years ago. Big publishers, big ones, AAA.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about that, because I can't think, obviously the last Game of Consequence was Hogwarts Legacy, which did gangbusters. It was the best-selling game of 2023 or whatever year it came out. 2022?
2023.
2023. So the best-selling game of that year. But apart from that, all their big heavy hitters were either flops or didn't have the legs on them as long as they typically do. Like the new Mortal Kombat game as an example. I think people liked it enough, but again, it just it's not really talked about as much and kind of died on the vine there. I think they're not even doing any more like DLC or anything like that for it. Suicide Kill the Justice League, torn apart online, still sold very well, but lost them, hundreds of millions of dollars. Gotham Knights losing the money. I think really...
No, Gotham Knights made them a ton of money.
Oh, did it?
Gotham Knights was actually very, very popular. Wasn't that the thing?
It was just, I guess, that negative press online.
Just not good.
Yeah, okay.
I think that one actually did okay. The problem is it could have done better. Well, maybe not, actually. But it was number 2 on the sales charts in October 2022.
Yeah.
But that was way before. Gotham Knights sold 1.5 million. I guess that's
not good.
It's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad, but I don't think it's particularly great for a Batman game.
Yeah. It's estimated
many dollars.
Well, this is Google AI, so who knows? Maybe this is wrong.
I don't trust it.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers were announced. But that game did well compared to other options. Like, certainly, but Hogwarts Legacy came out the year after, and then it just destroyed. Like, that's one of the top selling games ever.
I think, the Lego Star Wars, did incredibly well as well. I'm sure this new Lego Batman game is going to be doing really good. So they still have a lot of good there. And again, if you kind of mold it a little bit better, I think there's a lot of potential.
Right.
But again, they also closed down, Monolith that did the Lord of the Rings games that were working on the Wonder Woman game, right? They created one of the most what a lot of people consider to be one of the most revolutionary gameplay aspects with the Nemesis system. Then they trademarked it, said no one can use it, and then the studio that was using it shut down. So they made some pretty awful decisions with Warner Brothers, and I'm curious, is this going to benefit Warner Brothers Gaming, or is this just going to make it worse and kind of let it die? I'm very curious on how because that's as much as I'm curious how it's going to do for the larger movie industry and everything like that. I think that's a little bit more predictable as opposed to what the gaming division is going to go in the direction.
Yeah, it's also shorter form. The problem with gaming, you make a game and it takes so long to make, and to even spin it up. A movie can be shot pretty relatively quickly. So it's it's hard to know, even if they decide to go a different direction, we wouldn't know what that direction is until 4 years from now, 5 years from now. The games take so long to make. So it's it's hard to really know what they're even up to with that. They might just sell off that part of the business, but they would sell off the IP, and then they'll just license the IP to other companies who are looking developers.
Kind of do what Disney's doing.
That is pretty lucrative. Disney's doing it more and more. I feel with especially the Marvel and Star Wars stuff. It's been a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their main IPs that they would.
New Star Wars game announced yesterday.
I know that looks so good, but the only problem with that, I didn't like the way. So the Game Awards were yesterday from the day we're recording this. The weird thing about it was that they showed that, and I was like, oh, I'm getting a flashback of when they did the trailer for the Knights of the Old Republic remake, because they didn't show any gameplay. So I'm like, are we waiting 5 years for this then? Is this 100%. Just started? I'm kind of annoyed with that. I don't really want to know anything about it unless it's 2 years out. That's that. It's like Grand Theft Auto 6. It's very irritating. Stop telling me about it. I don't care. Stop telling me about it until you're ready to go. You're not even ready remotely. I don't want to know. I think within 2 years is fair game. I prefer within 1 year. I prefer within 6 months, but that's not going to happen because you gotta market things. So that's really annoying. Is there's no gameplay in that trailer. It's very exciting because it's the guy who made the original Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic game. So that is really cool. But yeah, they keep licensing more and more. That's not, I don't know if that was even the one you were talking about. There's a pod racer game too. That looks really awesome.
Yeah, that one looks sick, dude. Burnout, like a Burnout game, but it's Star Wars pod racing. That's a day one buy for me. No.
Was it called the Galactic Racing or something?
Something like that. Galactic pod racing. Now this is podcasting.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. All right, we can move on now. But yeah, cool. It's cool. Big story. Big story. So
super awesome. I'm so excited to figure out what's going to happen. I can't wait for all of this to go through. It's going to be great. Yeah. Shout out.
Wow. Shout out to unchecked capitalism,
It's honestly that's so sick, dude. I love it.
Yeah. So I love consumers.
Yeah, man. I'm honestly a big fan of billionaires getting richer.
Oh.
I love it. Oh, they're like great. A brother to me, all billionaires.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All of them.
All billionaires are like brothers to me. They don't give me anything, and they don't even think about me, but I think about them.
Vlad Putin.
And I loved him. Putin?
Yeah. He's definitely a billionaire. He's just unmarked. Like they don't tell you his amount is.
Cool guy. Cool guy.
Oh boy. Okay. I feel like I've backed you into the corner and you just decided to
stick to the bit.
Just paint yourself as well. You painted yourself in there and painted right over yourself. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go into the next news story here, Adrian. We're going to look at, this is a fun one. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, I did.
Quentin Tarantino called actor Paul Dano of the Batman and obviously There Will Be Blood, because we're about to talk about it in that context, fame and various other things. I'll get into it, what I think of him in a second, but he called him the weakest actor in SAG, like Screen Actors Guild.
SAG-AFTRA, yeah.
Yeah. On the Bret Easton Ellis podcast, when Quentin Tarantino was on a guest on that podcast, that's what he said. He was specifically referencing as well Dano's performance in the Paul Thomas Anderson film There Will Be Blood, which he called weak sauce. Adrian, you haven't seen There Will Be Blood unless you're going to change. Okay.
No.
I think maybe you're going to tell me, I actually watched that this week or something. I love There Will Be Blood. But in general, Paul Dano from lots of things. He's also in that movie where he plays a dead body and he like farts to get across the water.
From Swiss Army Man.
Yeah.
Swiss Army Man. I love that movie.
And I'm trying to think. I've seen him in so many things, but now I'm blanking on what they are.
The Batman, obviously, he was in.
Yeah, he's good, so good as the Riddler. Okja. Yeah,
he's in Okja, which I really like. That movie's sad.
So what do you think? Do you think he's one of the weakest actors in SAG, or is it Quentin Tarantino is actually the weakest actor in SAG? What do you think? Because he's in SAG. I'm sure he's in SAG. So it's like, what are you doing? Aren't you worse than Paul Dano, though? I feel like that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks because it's just like, an incredibly talented director talking shit about an incredibly talented actors. So I also want to point out, he talked shit about Matthew Lillard as well. And so I forget someone else. I can't remember who. I feel bad. But I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a shitty thing to do. Like why talk shit about, I guess they're not necessarily your peers, but people in the industry, and just say that they suck, like, and call out these people by name, especially when you have so much power. Like you can't talk shit about Quentin Tarantino's directing because he made some of the best movies out there. And he is, again, an incredibly talented director. I just think this is a lame thing to do.
Something. It's lame that he thinks that he has to make 10 movies and he's not making any movies. He's just kind of complaining lately.
Yeah. I feel like he hasn't been sucking on enough toes as of late. It's probably getting to him.
Oh boy.
He hasn't been sucking on enough dirty feet. That fucking freak, dude. That foot fetish motherfucker. Oh boy. But no, legitimately, I just feel like, I don't know, it's just a shitty thing to do. I don't think you should, do that. Like, it's not like Paul Dano's out there being like, Quentin Tarantino sucks. Matthew Lillard isn't out there being like, Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards movie is so well acted, but the directing is fucking awful and I just couldn't get through it. I just don't think it's a nice thing to do. And I feel like there's not enough kindness out there with everything that's going on. Why even do this, man? Stop it. You're not being nice. Nice. You weird ass looking fucking freak sucking on toes with incredible talent. Why do that?
Oh my God. Well, Owen Wilson is the third person.
Owen Wilson.
That, whom I love, by the way. I like all three of those guys, actually.
Me too.
I think they bring something to the table for all three of them. But to be quite honest with you, you watch There Will Be Blood and you don't tell me that's an impressive performance.
By Paul Dano.
It's pretty impressive.
He plays two characters as well, doesn't he?
Yes, he's playing twins. He's freaking awesome. I don't know what he's talking about. It's literally, that movie is obviously Daniel Day-Lewis. It's like a big Daniel Day-Lewis vehicle, but Paul Dano is amazing in it as well. And it kind of makes the movie in some way. I don't
Daniel
really understand.
Day-Lewis actually, he doesn't post much on social media, but he literally came out and said Paul Dano was like an awesome person to work with. I'm not saying it
something
verbatim,
like that.
obviously.
Yeah. I don't think he actually said anything. I think his team, some journalists reached out to his team, and then they kind of just confirmed what a fan account of Daniel Day-Lewis was saying about Paul Dano. That's, I think, what it was as far as it went. Because I think it was like a People magazine story that I was reading. I was like, oh, okay. People.com.
But yeah.
But yeah, this is very weird. I'll just say that I just don't agree with it at all in any way. So I just think this absurd. The other thing that's crazy is Paul Thomas Anderson is kind of a legend. Like he's a really great director, and you're kind of just throwing shade at Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah,
like that's not really. You're not really just throwing it at Paul Dano. You're throwing it at Paul Thomas Anderson because he's playing two people in the film. And there's not that many characters in this film. Like it's really it's Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano is a lot of the movie. So it doesn't even make any sense. Like it's very confusing. He also said that he thought that it should have been Austin Butler, which wouldn't have made sense on a timeline perspective because I think Butler would have been too young. So I don't. That was another weird thing about it. It didn't make any sense.
Have we seen anything with Austin Butler in it? I can't remember ever seeing anything with Austin Butler. What was he in? We watched something.
Well, he's in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay. Oh yeah,
that's why
I never remember his role in that. To be fair,
you've seen all the Quentin Tarantino movies that he would have been in though, because he would have been too young otherwise.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, he was good in that, but he's barely in it.
I don't remember.
Paul Dano was in it a lot. Like he's in There Will Be Blood a lot specifically. The thing that I was going to throw in here just quickly though, Mattson Tomlin, the screenwriter for the Batman, came to his not to his rescue, but came to his defense. And lots of people came to his defense online because it's a stupid take. That's why they did that, because it's not only mean, it doesn't even make any sense. But he specifically said he defended Dano, like Mattson Tomlin, who's also written the Batman part. Oh, sorry, I think he wrote both the Batman and the Batman Part 2, which is obviously the Batman Part 2 is yet to come out. But he said, quote, I am really pleased to see so many people cheer on Paul Dano this week. Not only is he a terrific actor, this is the cool thing about this, but he's also an astonishing director who exudes control and tremendous empathy. Check out Wildlife if you haven't seen it. In the studio, they call out Wildlife because Paul Dano's in the studio, and he's and I don't know if you remember this, but Seth Rogen's character is like, oh, I saw Wildlife. It was so good. Wildlife is like over a 90% of Rotten Tomatoes. I almost like in support of Paul Dano, I just didn't have time. I almost just watched Wildlife. I'm like, I'm going to rent this right now because I'm like, because it's apparently amazing. It's the only thing he's really directed, but it's cool that he's such a good director too. And it's funny that like, I don't think Quentin Tarantino is a very good actor in the things he's in. He's not bad, but he's not Paul Dano. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no.
It's absurd to say that. So you're going to comment on him being the worst actor in SAG? Dude, come on, man. Come on. You're a really good director, but you're not that good of an actor.
He's a remarkable director. Yeah, like he's a genuinely remarkable director.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like, acting isn't his forte. He probably acts better than I do.
Sure.
He sucks on toes better than I ever could because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But, you know.
You don't even know if he does that. Maybe he's doesn't even have a foot fetish. You're looking at me with such disbelief. I love
sure
that
about
expression.
That? You sure about that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to defend all, man. You're right. There's not enough kindness. I'm not saying Quentin Tarantino is a bad dude, but I think his takes are shit lately. Yeah. They've just been shit lately. I'm not sure what's going on. He's constantly got opinion on every podcast around. Like he's just like, oh, I don't like this. It's like, this is bad. This is great. Some weird obscure movie is the best movie ever. And then there's like, you're going to call out There Will Be Blood as having one of the worst actors ever. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Make a movie, dude. Make your freaking movie and maybe be passionate about making movies again. Make more movies. It seems like to me he's not passionate about movies enough. That's what I think. At least making them. I just feel like there's too much pressure. At 10. It's too much pressure. He created it himself. Yeah.
And I think that's silly. He did this so early in his career. Just fucking go back on it. Like, never mind.
Like George R. R. Martin, for God's sake. Yeah. Like, are you just procrastinating? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. I like J.R.R. Well, I'm not even I almost said J.R.R.
J.R.R. Tolkien Martin.
G.R.R. Martin. He seems cool enough. I haven't read the books, but I like Game of Thrones seems like pretty cool source material for the shows. It seems great, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, are you really going to spend this much time? The joke was that he'll die before he's done it ends.
He already wrote it all. It's ready to go, and he's just going to wait. And then maybe he'll eventually, in 20 years, 30 years, when he passes away, they're going to release those books so he can't see the criticism of the books because he doesn't want to know.
Maybe. I don't know.
This is something I just made up on the spot. This is my theory.
I think it's hard to write a book, and it's surprising to me that he wrote such tomes. Like he wrote such huge books before, and he can't seem to get this one out. It's a little strange. But I'm not going to criticize him because it's really Tarantino. Did you see the Zach Woods freaking bashing of Tarantino online?
No, I love Zach Woods, so I would love to see this.
You bashed him twice, and then the first time you bashes him, and then he goes in the second video and he's basically apologizing first, and then he bashes him some more instead. It's worth watching. It's a bit too harsh for my taste, but I think when he was bashing speaking of the Saudi wealth fund, like when he was like bashing the comedians in a very sarcastic way for like what. Yeah, this is fine. You could just go there, and that's how he speaks, actually. You could just go there and no problem. You should just whitewash their society. It's okay that they just murder journalists in the street. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, anyway.
I really like Zach Woods. He's genuinely
great.
Hilarious person.
His brand of comedy is just is like straight man weirdo.
Yeah, it's unique to him. As well, I
straight
always
man,
think,
but also weirdo. He's like straight man, but he's not really straight. Like, you know what I mean? As in, like, he's not the comedy. He's a straight man. He's not quite. He's just something really off about him in every character he plays. But you're not quite sure what it is until like a little later, and you're like, okay, that guy's psycho. All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Again, he does. Yeah, again, not to go off too much on a tangent, but yeah, every role that he's in, I just love it. I mean, we brought up Avenue 5 earlier. There's the line in the season 1 finale. I don't know if you know about the 7-year war or whatever.
Oh
yeah. Just the delivery of that line specifically is just immaculate. Again, everything he does, I'm a big fan. But yeah,
amazing.
Bringing
Did
it
you
back
see?
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you watch the After Party season 2? Because he's a big starring. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. I should watch it.
Yeah, he's in it.
It's an anthology, right? Because I remember the first season kind of ended. Huh?
Yeah, it's an anthology, basically. It's kind of an anthology. They carry over characters from the previous.
Yeah, because I know Sam Richardson's in it, right?
Yeah,
in both seasons. So
yeah,
is Tiffany Haddish in both seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
I should watch it. I know they canceled it.
I'm forgetting now.
Watch it.
It's got canceled, but that's okay because it kind of just the seasons wrap up. You get the mystery solved. It's a good mystery. Apple TV Plus, everyone. Check it out. All right. Sorry, did you want to say something else about the There Will Be Blood weak sauce?
No. Just be nicer. Be nicer to people. I think Matthew Lillard, Owen Wilson, Paul Dano, they're all great actors. I think Quentin Tarantino is a fantastic director. Loves sucking feet. And yeah,
let's just say, like, it's kind of weird to shout out Matthew Lillard too. He's pretty good in what he's in, but he's also he's not in that much stuff. Like, are you shouting out that guy? What an asshole thing to do. Owen Wilson's in a lot of stuff, and he's got a very distinct personality in the things he's in. I love him in everything he's in. Personally, I think he's awesome. It's like, you're just taking shots like in the dark. What's going on here? Yeah. Matthew Lillard though felt like it didn't belong in those two because Paul Dano he's in a lot of. He's worked with so many big name like directors and done a very good job in every single role. And there's a reason why huge directors are hiring him, like Paul Thomas Anderson. So you basically went for the guy in the artsy films that is making really crazy performances that are eligible for Oscars often. I think didn't Paul Dano get nominated for an Oscar for There Will Be Blood? I think that also might have happened. Hold on.
Okay.
But otherwise, like, it feels like Owen Wilson's also in a lot of blockbusters. In contrast. Oh, yeah, he got nominated for a BAFTA for There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
The Golden Globe for Love and Mercy. Primetime Emmy, this show. Oh, I always wanted to watch this because Ben Stiller's direct. Like, when he started to really direct dramas, I feel like, in a bigger way for the show Escape at Dannemora. I forgot he's in that.
I don't even know what that is.
And Steven Spielberg cast him in The Fabelmans. Like, you think he just did that by accident? No, and he's in Little Miss Sunshine, which is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie, by the way. And he's so good in that too. I can't even understand. This is absurd. I'm just going to stop talking about it. Let's move on to the next thing. Are you looking something up before I move on?
Yeah, I never heard about this Escape from Dannemora.
We talked about it at one point. What's her name from Severance?
Patricia Arquette, Benicio del Toro, Paul Dano.
Yeah, right.
Interesting.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro is so good. Oh my god, So yeah, this is something I wanted to watch, but it wasn't really on anything from what I remember. Do you see it? Are you looking at it on the Apple TV app to see where it could be? Because I can't remember what it was on.
I'm just on Google.
It was hard to find the actual place to watch it, but once like the Severance before it was coming out, I was like, oh, Ben Stiller. I'm like, oh yeah, he's a big director, but I'm like, he hasn't really directed that many dramas. And I was like, oh, Escape. And then I learned about Escape at Dunamora. This was, I think, in between the episode 100 and episode 101 for us. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of didn't talk about it. And then we brought it up, I think, on this run of shows because we talked about Severance specifically. But it might have just been in passing. Okay. Anyway, you ready?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
No, I was just looking into the cast and stuff. I was like, what is this show about? How did I miss that? But yeah, here. Sorry, I just really got to go to the bathroom. So
okay.
Quick break.
Sounds good.
Quick pee break. I'll be right back.
Down. Pee break.
I'm going to power pee. You can ramble.
Goodbye.
Hey, I'm back.
All right, you're back. Good stuff. All right, I got to get going here because I got to go to Costco. I gotta get to Costco. Yeah. So I gotta get going. I gotta move this, get this show on the road.
Okay, I apologize, man.
That's my fault. I talked too much about Netflix and Warner Brothers here. Okay,
cool.
So we're gonna move on now to the third story real quick here. As Deadline reports, the third installment in the 28 years later trilogy has been greenlit, with 28 days later star Cillian Murphy set to return to the franchise, and writer Alex Garland currently writing the screenplay. The second installment, 28 years later, The Bone Temple, is set to be released on January 16th, 2026. Adrian, you sent me this story. That's part of the reason why it's in here. I'm also very excited about this too. We saw 28 years later, the first installment, which has no subtitle this year, and it was very good. At the beginning of the year. I wonder if it's still your favorite movie this year, actually. I'm curious. I think
possibly. Possibly. I got to look at my list, but I think it still is. I love it.
The Bone Temple was rumored, I don't know if it was confirmed or not, but rumored to have Cillian Murphy in it too.
Yes.
I believe. So we'll see what this is. But yeah, what are you thinking about this the last movie in the trilogy being greenlit? And
I'm very excited about this.
Soon.
And the reason
June 16th, 2026 is soon for Bone Temple too.
Yeah, January 16th. Yeah, 2026.
Did I say June? Sorry, January.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. It's awesome, dude. So this is really cool because I think, man, I'm trying to remember. I think it may have been on the actors on actors conversation, or sorry, not actors on actors, creators on creators conversation.
Creators to creator. Yeah,
that one between Neil Druckmann and Alex Garland, where Alex Garland talked about obviously 28 years later coming out and how they wrote 28 years later how he wrote 28 years later The Bone Temple. And in that conversation, I think he mentioned that they were going to do these two movies, and ideally they'll be able to make enough money to fund the third one. So there was this potential that the finale of this trilogy wouldn't happen depending on how well Bone Temple does.
Right.
So I found this like super interesting because when I saw it, that's exactly what I wanted to bring up in this conversation, because now, regardless of how the Bone Temple does, we're still going to ideally get, the third and final movie in this trilogy, which is sweet. And the reason why I was a little bit worried about the third one not happening is because I've been seeing a lot online that people don't even realize that 28 years later, The Bone Temple is a sequel to 28 years later. I don't think it's common knowledge. I think there are people out there that literally are like, oh, 28 years later, didn't that just come out? And aren't putting two and two together. So I was almost just worried about, this movie just not doing well. And as a result, we wouldn't get a finale in this trilogy. Yeah. But, I'm very curious about how this is going to do, because I think the rumblings around The Bone Temple are very positive, that it is like a very well done movie. Yeah,
the screenings specifically. Mm-hmm. I think it's testing really well.
Yeah, so I'm stoked for this, man. I'm very excited about this, and I'm glad to hear that Cillian Murphy is obviously coming back, but also again seeing how it's all going to fold into it, because like, is this going to feel like small universe syndrome, or is there going to be a purpose to bring him back, and how these characters are going to connect? And I don't know, I'm just so curious how this is all going to play out. It's super exciting because 28 years later is my favorite movie of the year, from again off the top of my head.
Cool.
So Yeah, man. Again, what do you think about this? Are you excited about this? I know you really like 28 Years Later as well, just maybe not as much as me.
I'm super excited, and it's also super close. January 16th is like hip and a scop. Hip and a scop. What the hell?
A hop and a skip.
Hop and a skip away. So it's soon, which is exciting. And it is cool, and I'm glad it's testing well, because this is not being directed by Danny Boyle, and that's why I was kind of worried. Because Nia DaCosta, from my experience, Nia DaCosta directed Candyman, which has been really well reviewed. Hedda, which is really well reviewed, but I didn't watch that one, and I really don't like the Marvels. I really don't like it. I think the Marvels is not good.
I don't necessarily know if the Marvels is a direction issue either, though. Like, I think a lot of it has to do with just like having to fold this into this universe and having like such inconsistencies. I genuinely don't believe that the creators have full control when they're making a Marvel movie anymore. Like, I don't know. I get that feeling. So I don't want to really blame her.
You don't think James Gunn had control, though? This is the thing.
Guardians 3, I think he did. But again, the key thing is that movie.
Guardians 2?
Well, that too. Yeah, sure. But again, I feel like since it was kind of set a little bit aside and not like fully connected to, the big events that were happening as much, I think he had a little bit more creative control.
But Guardians 3 has more connection to the rest of the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To a certain degree. I guess
I feel like they're doing inconsistent things constantly with the MCU that don't make any sense. Like actually, speaking of the Marvels, in Captain Marvel, the thing with Nick Fury is so stupid and infuriating. It's so dumb. So it's like I don't really infuriating. So it's very irritating. So like it's like, are they even careful? They're not even that careful. So like, what does it even matter? I don't know. I'm not sure. You're right, though. She's a newer director, relatively speaking. She hasn't made as many blockbusters, so they maybe could push her around more. So that's maybe the problem. And she couldn't say no enough. If you have somebody like James Gunn now, you're not really going to push that guy around. That's why it's cool James Gunn's in charge of the DCU, because he's going to give creative control. And he's been in the other side. He's been in the shoes of the director, trying to do what they want to do. But anyway, Hedda's reviewed well, but the audience score is not good. That's what I was about to say. It's 56%. So that's why I'm concerned.
It is about lesbians.
I think it's what it is. Oh yeah,
it could be
a bias, a political bias. Yeah, that's possible.
It's interesting.
It may not be true. It may be false. So, yeah, that's a good call out. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's I don't know. It's too woke for people. It's interesting because the new Spartacus show. To go off on a little bit of a tangent, the new Spartacus show. I looked into it, and at least when I checked it out, it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Audience score, very bad. Not good. I think it was in like the low 50s. And I was sitting there wondering, because I looked into it a little bit, because essentially this new Spartacus show, frustratingly, is not a sequel to the Spartacus show that we got many years ago. It's a what if. It's like, what if this character didn't die?
What?
And exactly. Yeah. And they're now running the gladiatorial, like Spartacus gladiatorial ring thing. And that was the premise. And I was like, oh, that's why it's reviewed poorly. And then I looked into all the reviews, and it's just a bunch of people being like, they're making Spartacus woke, this show that was for men, they're making it for girls or whatever. And I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. 91% is high though, dude.
Yeah. Wow. And again, for me, like I wanted to watch it again. 42 popcorn meter. But I wanted to watch it, but after hearing that it's a what if, I was like, nah, I'm out. Because like I don't know, even if it feels good,
less meaningful.
Exactly. Even if it's good, it doesn't matter because technically it doesn't exist in the universe I liked. It's a weird feeling. And again, I'm not gonna get stars for this fucking show. So
Stephen S. Tonight though returned, right? That's the big thing.
Yes, he did.
As executive producer.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Stephen S. Tonight, also the guy that did Daredevil season 1. Did he do 2 and 3, or was it just the first season that he did?
1.
Okay.
Just 1.
Yeah, I think.
I don't think he could return for 3. I think that was somebody else again.
Yeah.
I think they swapped him out each time. I think that showrunner. I'm pretty sure. I'll just say this, just really brief. The Game Awards were yesterday, as of the day of recording this. We said this already. The Last of Us won. I was just going to say that because you said creator to creator. The Last of Us won Best Adaptation, which I thought was very interesting because people like the Splinter Cell show and various other things that were nominated for Best Video Game Adaptation. Mm-hmm. And The Last of Us, I thought largely was season 2, which is the one that won this year. I thought largely wasn't as beloved as season 1, even by critics. So I thought that was very strange.
I think the bar's kind of on the ground for that, in the sense of like, I don't think people are watching all those adaptations a lot of the cases. And I think The Last of Us Part 2, season 2, although wasn't as beloved, everyone watched it. Or
you think that they're voting without seeing it? They're critics. You don't think they're 100%. They're big publications. Nobody in their entire publication watched it.
I would assume most of them would have probably watched, just The Last of Us and been like, yeah, we'll go to The Last of Us. That's my assumption.
I see. They just watched the one.
I don't know. I will nominate that one.
That again, sucks, you think the Video Game Award sucks because that can't happen in general. Because
you think about last year with
I abstained from voting
Fallout, like Fallout winning.
Fallout's amazing.
But over Arcane season 2, and it's like, again, like I think Fallout's great. Don't get me wrong, but I think more people watched Fallout versus Arcane season 2, because I think if you watch Arcane season 2, come on, there's no contest. The quality is so different.
Fallout's pretty good. It's a different type of show though, so it's hard. They're in the same category and they're very different. More popular. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Yeah, that's a fair thing, but that's a really unfortunate thing because again, it's not, audience doesn't vote largely for the Game Awards. It's publications, it's giant outlets. That's how it works. So like, if they're not doing that, then they have no journalistic integrity at all. And I would argue they do. I know that people believe that's an annoying thing that I have arguments with people every day. Honestly, it's so annoying. It's like, what do critics matter? They're just making up. They're just taking money and they're just voting. Like, I'm like, that's not how it works. Largely, I don't think that's how it works. No, and if that's how it works, I don't think Jeff Keighley would do it that way.
Yeah, maybe small publications, if anything, that are looking to earn a quick dollar or whatever.
Some of them will. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, there's bad actors in every industry for sure.
Exactly.
But it's just, I don't think it's largely governed by that. I think that it's largely governed by people with journalistic integrity. I believe personally. So that's why I'm thinking that that's not true. But here's what I'll say. I like The Last of Us season 2. The reason I'm bringing this up, I'm playing part 2 again, and I got to the beginning, and there was this belief that they introduced Abby too quickly, and I completely agree with you. I did agree with you before, like I was like, oh, it's just different. I know why they did this though. They did it. It was what I said, but I can see why you don't like it completely. I completely relate to what you were saying across the board, because it's just, they're dumbing it down, not on the perspective of dumbing it down. They're dumbing it down because you lose an audience. I do think that there's a chance you lose an audience if you don't find little tricks, but I think they're HBO. You take the swing. Mm-hmm. I just think you take the swing for the fences. Now, I don't think the season 2 is bad. I still don't think it's the same belief I had before, but I'm just like, I'm playing it again. And I'm like, man, if you left the mystery alive about Abby right away, there's this element. It's the first shot of the season. So like, you're not really,
it drives me insane.
It's so interesting because you're so worried about keeping the audience, but it's like, but you know who wasn't worried about keeping the audience, Adrian? You know who didn't care about it? Neil Druckmann, when he made the game. And it's like he didn't care, and like it obviously didn't pay off in some aspects. People were pissed off. People are so mad about the game, and I think they were like, "How do we fix that? Mm-hmm. How do we massage it? We have another crack at it in a different medium. It's different. It also plays differently. You're not playing the character. You don't get to inhabit that person. You don't get there's a different aspect. So if you can do it, should we do it a different way to see if we can grab the audience in a different way to make them? Because I mean, season 2 is a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, so critics do like it, mm-hmm. Right? 92%. Sorry.
Yeah,
they love it, dude.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise that it won because it's the best reviewed show probably of the lot that won at the Video Game Awards. But I, again, completely see where you're coming from. Just to kind of relate to what you're saying. It's like, dude, it's like, just do it because I know that it's tough, but how cool would it have been? But yeah, it's different. The way they did it is different. I think it is genuinely a worse way to tell the story. But I mean, I feel like we knew that already because The Last of Us is immaculate. I'm playing it again and I can't believe how amazing it is again. I'm like, this so particular good. Part 2 in particular, and the way the gameplay works within the narrative is so friggin' awesome. The way it ties itself together, it's insane. I'm like, I think 20% in or something. Anyway, okay, let's move on. I said I have to go, and then I'm wasting time here. Okay, let's talking about The Last of Us, which is many months back. So let's go through the trailer roundup real quick. Anything stand out to you? There were actually some big trailers that came out. I'm going to list them here, and you tell me which ones, and you just talk about the ones you want. But I watched Ready or Not, Here I Come trailer, which looked pretty great. Supergirl trailer, which was hyped up and looks awesome as usual. It's crazy because that's Craig Gillespie, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's I, Tonya director. We've talked about that before, but that's still really cool in my opinion because it's a pretty cool director to have directing a superhero film. And then Street Fighter was shown at the Game Awards, which was a great way to show that off. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was one of the it was in some way, I mean, there's a lot of highlights of the Game Awards, but that was a crazy moment with the entire cast on the stage. Makes no sense. Why'd you do that? It seems like the logistics were insane. And then Hijack season 2, which I'm assuming you didn't watch, but I don't even know why they're making season 2. So
he's on a
what
train
do you have
now.
To say?
He's on a train.
Yeah,
apparently.
Hijack. Idris Elba's on a train now. Yeah,
maybe I'll watch the first season just for shits and gigs. It seems like a fun show.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I got other shows I would say or watch, but
okay, maybe I will. Who knows? I won't tell you.
Okay.
So let's start with Supergirl. You talked about it, Craig Gillespie. This looks great. This is awesome, and it's really cool how they're portraying Supergirl's character, like Kara Zor-El or whatever, and how different she is, obviously, from Superman. She seems way more real, I guess where Superman is a sign of hope and optimism, she is a realist and far more pessimistic, and also loves fucking getting hammered and doing drugs, which you can respect about a 20-something-year-old woman. She's got a beautiful dog with her, Crypto, and just wants to party and is just kind of like everything sucks, and it's obviously because of how she was presumably raised and everything that she went through, and how she's a tortured soul, where Clark had the privilege to land in the United States and be raised by a nice farm family, and show him that humans are or that you should be kind to people and all of that stuff. And he was raised as a human, whereas Supergirl was not. So I think this trailer looks really fun and really cool. I don't know who all the other characters are. Obviously, there's a brief glimpse of Jason Momoa in that trailer as Lobo, which is awesome to see. But I don't know who that little girl with the katana is that she's kind of taking care of. And I love these sort of buddy cop sort of movies, as you say all the time. It seems like it's going to be, it seems like it's going to be a really fun time and really interesting. And it's awesome that this is this is the second movie of the DC universe, technically. And I'm curious how it's all going to play out.
Soon.
Yeah. It's spring. 6 months. So I really liked it. What do you think about this trailer?
I think it looks awesome. And I'm like, I don't know. I think they have the opportunity to start really strong. The Marvel Cinematic Universe started pretty strong too. So, but I don't know. I'm curious what the flavoring of Craig Gillespie is in this. That's what I'm very interested, because it kind of looks like Guardians in some way. Yeah, I got serious Guardians vibes. But she's I liked it what you called out there. It's she's messy. She's kind of more relatable in some way, because people are not as pristine as Superman as much as they, I think that's one of the cool things about Superman is that he's not perfect. And I think that they show that too. He's human in a very strange way, even though he's not. I think that this is a different side of that. There's she doesn't give a shit, she's a cynic. She's very cynical, and she's like, this is bullshit. And it's kind of like our world now in our real world. It's kind of how I feel. There's a lot of shitty stuff going on. There's a lot of things I can't control that governments and big companies are controlling it feels like it's all like shit sandwiches kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's just not ideal. So I think that's cool. I think that's a great thing to do. A flip side, do it opposite. It's weird to do it as a second movie because you just did Superman. That's what's strange. I wonder if Lanterns will come out first. I don't know where that's in the slate. I imagine
they just did the HBO coming to HBO sizzle reel, and there wasn't a date, but they did have a brief like 10, 15 seconds of lanterns. So
it'd be cool if it's first, because this one looks like it's in space as well. So would there be a crossover somewhere in some aspect? Because they're kind of, a big universe, to be honest, probably not. It'd be almost cooler if they don't do that yet. They just kind of hold off, because the first movie, Superman, like already kind of has all the characters in it. So it'd be cool if you can kind of like introduce us to lanterns, like the Green Lantern Corps and all that stuff. Honestly, it's one of the things I feel like I know the least. They're very popular characters in the Justice League. I don't know enough about the Green Lanterns. But I love the idea of Space Cops, True Detective style HBO show. I think that I'm sure it's supposed to be 14A or like 18A, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Didn't Nathan Fillion say something about like it's one of the properties that he's worked in where he's dropped the most F-bombs or something like that?
Oh, I didn't see that. Cool.
I swear that was something like that.
That's awesome if that's true. That's great. Yeah, that's so exciting then. And I love Damon Lindelof, and I think that, what's his name? Mundy. It's Chris, I think. Chris Mundy, the Ozark creator. Like that's like a combo that it's kind of match made in heaven. So that's very exciting.
So I was right. Nathan Fillion, he who plays Guy Gardner, revealed that he was dropping more F-bombs in the Lanterns project than in his entire career. That's highlighting its mature so awesome, TVMA tone. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense for his character too, because he's an asshole. Yeah. So that kind of makes sense too. Mm-hmm. Cool, man. Yeah, that's great. That's Supergirl. Any of the other trailers stand out to you want to talk about?
Ready or Not, Here I Come. Super excited about that. Looks awesome. Yeah. I love that it's picking up immediately after the first one.
Which is a good concept, because it's like it kind of ends final. Like there's a final ending on that in theory. And then you're like, no, there's more. And the idea, the concept behind how there could be more, I think is pretty cool.
Exactly. Where it's just, it's like, it's not just the one family. This is like a big cult that like goes, way bigger. And there's a bunch of rich families that do this crazy game, yada, yada, yada. And I really liked that. I thought it was funny. I'm curious. Catherine Newton. It's Catherine Newton, right? Yeah. Catherine Newton.
Yeah. She's in it.
Yeah. She's also in it playing Samara Weaving's sister. Two final girl actors kind of going at it. So that's pretty cool. I'm curious how it's going to all play out. I'm quite excited about this one. I thought the trailer was pretty good. I feel like it kind of revealed a couple of, big things, which hopefully I'll forget about by the time the movie comes out. And yeah, just really enjoy that. Street Fighter, cool. I have no real attachment to it. Good cast, I guess.
It looks cool. And it looks like my favorite thing about the Street Fighter movie is that there's like this crazy cast of various big name actors and also big name stars for other things like wrestling and shit.
Yeah, and wrestling, the thing about comedians. Like
it felt like they didn't care about putting like full on makeup on them and like just hiding them. They really wanted to make the character real.
Yeah,
I think that's because the way it's shot, the trailer is really cool. It's a teaser, but I thought that teaser, I was like, I'm kind of impressed with the way this is done. It seems very brutal, and I don't know. I think it's really, they're kind of going for it, and it looks like it's a Street Fighter fan who made it. If I'm to say, I'm not the biggest Street Fighter fan, so maybe I'm not the one to say. But I feel like that's the impression it gave me. But that cast being on stage and calling out Mortal Kombat, I was like, what is going on here? There was also an element of like, was it scripted? Some of it felt like it wasn't even scripted. I think it was, but there was an element like, so they showed the crowd at one point and they were like, their faces were like deadpan. I was like, this is really entertaining for me. I'm like, what is going on here? I was like, why isn't this as funny for you as it is for me? Quite strange. But yeah, that was pretty good. Cool. There was a very charismatic cast, it seems like. They're very hyped about the movie they're making. So that's awesome. That was the movie got shifted, right? It was Street Fighter.
No,
or
Mortal Kombat was shifted, right, and then Street Fighter is taking the same place, October. But next year, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they like don't give a shit. It's like ours is in October. Mortal Kombat moved from October of this year because they were scared because of what might happen to the box office. Anyway, okay, cool, man. Anything else you want to mention? Talk about? No.
The hijack thing, I'm just annoyed by it because he's on a train now and there's a hijacking on the train. And I'm like, how did this happen by coincidence? And the trailer kind of shows that it did happen by coincidence. I'm like, what?
Oh, actually?
I'm like, okay, that's kind of what it's insinuating. I'm not really sure from the trailer. And I'm like, this is bizarre. Like, how would this have happened again?
Super
I thought they maybe
individual.
hired him as a negotiator or something because he was good at it. But he's a lawyer. He's not like a hostage negotiator. He's just like a lawyer. He's on a plane. He
I didn't realize
talks
that's what
down
it was.
hijackers, but he's really good at negotiating, so he is able to do it. So that's kind of the idea. It's like how Donald Trump is like solved 15 wars because he's a great negotiator. The art of the deal.
Yeah, man. That guy's fucking awesome, dude. Shout out.
That's the same thing. Anyway, okay, we're gonna move on now. Let's do this segment pretty quick because I do have to go to Costco and I feel like my fiance is getting mad back there. So
you gotta get the rotisserie chicken, dude. Yeah, let's get it.
We should. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna announce a segment, which is a segment of our show called, or I like to call, A Look to the Future. Portion of our podcast where each of us present at least 3 of our picks for the TV series or movies that look most interesting to us that are releasing between the dates of December 16th and December 29th, 2025.
Awesome. Okay. Right. My most anticipated movie of the year, Avatar, Fire and Ash, December 19th. Can't wait. Who cares? Not me.
Great.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Game Award for Best Adaptation, Fallout Season 2 premieres on December 17th, Adrian, on Amazon Prime Video. Are you excited? Huh? Much better than Arcane. They say it's better than Arcane. That's what they say.
Wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah. This one's cool, though, because it's got friggin' Macaulay Culkin. So I'm curious. It's true. I haven't seen him in too much since.
They got Justin Theroux.
Oh, yeah. Justin Theroux. Yeah. Great.
Awesome. Yeah. Right. I'll watch it. I liked the first season. I think it's grossly overrated, though. But I liked it.
Well, to win that award, yeah. I guess so.
The other movie, based on a childhood amazing comedy flick, coming out December 19th as well. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
Nice.
Coming out December 19th.
Are you going to watch that one? Excited?
No, I haven't watched SpongeBob in quite some time. I loved SpongeBob as a kid, though. I think SpongeBob defined a lot of people's love of specific styles of comedy.
Right. Gotcha.
I love SpongeBob. SpongeBob. L'éponge de Spudge.
Okay. My next pick, Adrian, is a movie. I'll let you guess this one. It stars Iron Man star and a star of a recent movie in which there is a guy who's singing songs.
And it's blue? Is he singing it in blue?
Blue? What is that?
Song sung blue?
I don't know what that reference is.
It's a movie called Song Sung Blue coming out December 25th.
No. This movie is a guy who plays ping pong, and it's called Marty Supreme. Comes out December 19th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's in it
stars
from
Timothy
Iron Man?
Chalamet. Gwyneth Paltrow is in it.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't even know she was in Iron Man. How the fuck am I supposed to
know? That keeps coming up, eh? She doesn't know who Tom Holland is. How's that possible?
Yeah, it's so random.
What's going on? All right.
Yeah, she's probably fucking zooted all the time with her.
It's like, what's that slang? I don't.
It's like when you're just like out of it. Like, what's going on?
Oh, I thought it was like a drugs suggestion. Okay.
I mean, no. I mean, maybe.
Well, Downey Jr. said that she's one of the smartest people he's ever met, but she doesn't know anything about the Marvel Cinematic Universe or something along those lines.
She just doesn't give a fuck.
She would be so confused. She would be so confused sometimes that you'd be like, "What? What is going on here?"
Shout out to her. Yeah. Good for her for not giving a single flying fuck.
There's something really interesting about Robert Downey Jr. playing a villain in the next Avengers movie and seeing Tom Holland's like that combo, that particular combo. We talked about like the pairings of various characters. The Peter Parker and Robert Downey Jr.'s version of whatever character he's playing. I don't know if he's probably going to look identical to Iron Man, but the idea of him meeting like I feel like that's the most interesting combo. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Maybe he's not even going to take off the mask the entire time.
Yeah, that would be crazy, wouldn't it?
That'd be so funny, dude. He's just a voice actor.
I think that's part of it. I think they're going to, if they don't play into it, then that's stupid. I feel like that's dumb because you didn't like it in the beginning, but I feel like this is why I like it is because if you can spin it and then keep using him, who Robert Downey Jr. is just a great actor in general. He's got so much charisma. Please.
Yeah. Tom Holland's going to be like, hey, you're exciting. Like Tony Stark. You were my idol. You helped me.
And then he shoots him in the face with a gun.
Yeah, he just fucking blows his fucking
he just takes out a revolver and shoots him like, because the mask will be similar to Squid Game. He just shoots him as like Russian roulette style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick,
Awesome.
dude. Yeah.
It's just like there's blood everywhere. It's like, this is now a Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he starts sucking on people's feet. Anyways.
And then Paul Dano is immediately fired.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of sucking on feet, The Housemaid coming out December 19th.
Jesus Christ. Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just saw an opportunity. I regret saying it.
Is that a reference to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I wish I didn't say that.
Sydney Sweeney's already very sexualized, you know? I'm not sure what other connection could we be making here. Brendan Sklenar from 1923?
I was talking about, Brendan Sklenar guy.
Yeah, Brendan Sklenar of 1923.
He's going to be the new Batman, I heard.
He could be. You're making fun of that, but he was in 1923, and I think that's where he really started lifting off. People love Yellowstone, dude. They love it. So that... I know you were making fun of it. You're like, his publicist is going out there and saying this. Who is saying this? His publicist. I get that. I understand. There's a chance, though, he doesn't not look the type of Batman. And he's buff. Did you see the trailer for this? You definitely did. For this movie, The Housemaid? He's like jacked. I'm like, do you need to be that jacked for this movie, or is it another reason? It's not.
Maybe.
It's not that crazy.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or maybe he's getting jacked on purpose so his publicist can go out and say, look, this guy's a Batman type. He's a Bruce Wayne type. Look how jacked he is. Yeah.
I don't know. They should just make Glenn Powell Batman.
That would be cool too. Yeah, that'd be great. So I want Henry Cavill to be Batman. I genuinely think that's a great choice. I think if they do that, that would be earth shattering, and it would also sell tickets because people love Henry Cavill. And I think that whole situation was weird, and it bridges the stupid, like the crazy people who's still going for the Snyderverse, you know, like, did Ken tell you this when the Netflix deal thing happened? They're like, oh, that means the DCU will be shut down and they're gonna bring back the Snyderverse. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Ken apparently has got his ear to the ground on that. He said that that's happening, that the people are excited.
Yeah.
Because of the connection with Snyder, I guess, and Netflix. I'm
Even
not
though
sure
Snyder's not making it, like, has all of his projects canceled now from Netflix, I'm pretty sure. They're not doing Rebel Moon, Rebel Moon.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just write the thing for him and then get him to direct it because he's a good director.
He's a really good director.
I don't want to say he's a bad writer because I think that's mean. I'm a bad writer. He's
inconsistent. I would say he's an inconsistent writer.
And just get a good writer to write it for him, and then he'll make something brilliant. It will be incredible. He can maybe chime in, you know, with ideas, maybe create the skeleton of it. Maybe I just don't, dude. It would be so cool because I like his writing. Because didn't he not write? He didn't write Spartacus, the Spartan movie. What's it called?
300.
300. Why is it such a low number for me? 300 writers. Whose turn is it? Is it mine?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. I said Housemaid.
It's my turn. I'm going to go, and then while I'm doing this, he wrote the screenplay, but alongside Kurt Johnstad and Michael B. Jordan. That can't be the same guy.
Okay.
Michael B. Gordon. I'm so sorry. I confused the J and the. Why keep confusing J's and G's today? Okay. Michael B. Gordon. I don't know who that is, but anyway.
George
Plus, he didn't really
Tolkien.
write that because it's written by Frank Miller, so that's not really
Miller.
In reality, it's a comic, so that's a bad example. Anyway, that's my point.
Anyways,
I just wanted to not
cool,
and then he can make good stuff. Anyway, cool. Shut the hell up and move on. The next one is Anaconda. Comes out December 25th. Adrian. It stars Paul Rudd and Jack Black, and they're fighting an anaconda for real, even though they were trying to make a movie about a fake anaconda, and it goes awry. And that's the movie I still kind of feel like is the movie that is airing this Monday in advance. But I'm hoping pretty much for every other movie well, maybe not The Housemaid, actually. I don't care about The Housemaid. I kind of want it to be No Other Choice. Marty Supreme definitely is this thing on.
Yeah. When's that coming out? That's
December 19th. That's this week.
Okay.
Limited release, though. That's the problem, is limited release.
See, that's what I'm thinking.
It could be that because I think Eternity was also limited release, wasn't it?
Correct. Right. Anyways, my next thing is this thing on? It's coming out December 19th. It's a limited release. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if you heard of it. Yeah. It stars Will Arnett as a comedian, a stand-up comic who wasn't initially a stand-up comic, just a divorced guy who's in a bar and tries to get in cover free.
Yeah. It's Stranger Things, Christmas Day, some of the episodes up until the finale. Boom. There's another one.
I don't have Stranger Things written here. I'm insane.
Yeah.
don't know how I didn't put it right. I didn't write it here. Emily in Paris, another Netflix thing, just like Stranger Things, comes out December 18th. I don't know if you're
not even in
watching
Paris
this
anymore, eh?
Are they not?
I have no idea. I just said that.
Oh. I think my fiance watched Emily in Paris.
She's in Rome now, I think.
Again, are you lying? Are you just making that up?
I have no idea. I'm just
so why are you saying that?
I don't know.
Why are you adding? You're like, I have no idea, and then you double down on the joke you made previously. Usually you cut it off, and then it's over. And then now you're going to say, "Oh, I think they're in China now."
No, she's actually in Qatar.
Qatar, yeah. So they're in Saudi Arabia.
She went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
She actually held. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. Anyways, don't worry about it.
Okay. My next choice, well, because you went twice in a row, I think, is
I went
no
like
other
3 times
choice.
in a row. Yeah.
See what I did there?
Dude, that's such a good joke. I'm gonna fucking shit my pants. That's so good, dude.
You're really making fun of me. All right. Well, that's a movie by Old Boy director Park Chan-wook, which it comes out again December 25th. That movie, a lot of Oscar buzz. That will be obviously an international. I think it's obvious that it'll be an international Oscar contender.
Yeah.
International. What is it called? International feature? I don't remember the name of that category. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah. Movie not made in America.
But this is the one where the guy, he's like losing his job and he's going to murder a bunch of people or something.
I don't know. I didn't watch the trailer yet. I feel like I should, though. Or maybe I did.
haven't seen the trailer either.
Okay. We should watch this at Princess Twin. Let's go in blind. I don't even want to know anything about it.
Abruptly laid off after 25 years at the same company. What?
I just said, let's just go watch it at Princess Twin. I don't want to hear anything about it.
Oh,
and then you're like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Abruptly laid off.
No, that part I already explained it. I already said it. I already said that part.
Okay.
Just now.
Okay, cool.
Are you sure?
Cool.
It's only one sentence. You don't want to hear the sentence?
I don't want to hear the sentence. I'm worried about what the sentence says.
Fine. We won't go in with the same knowledge. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. You're welcome.
The other thing is crazy is I literally talked about this like months ago.
Well, dude, I don't have a good memory. I don't have a good memory.
So I could just say it and it would be fine.
No, I have a good memory for watching it in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
All right. Well, that's it then. That's all the movies coming out. I'm pretty sure.
That's everything ever releasing.
Did we say
ever.
The Housemaid? You said The Housemaid, yeah.
Yeah, because I did that weird foot joke about Brendan Sklenar. I'm sorry, Brendan.
Right. Yeah, sorry, Brendan. Yeah, right. It was about Brendan Sklenar.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Are you done?
What do you mean, sure? What the fuck do you mean? Yeah. Okay.
Nothing. I mean nothing. Okay, we're done now.
Quentin Tarantino sucking on dirty feet. That's going to be the name of the episode. Boom. We're done. It's locked in.
Are you serious?
Live. Yeah.
Okay, because I had ain't unchecked capitalism grand as a. But you like the controversial ones that are.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino. What if he sues us? We have no money.
Okay. Ain't unchecked Quentin sucking on feet grand.
No. We're not going to combine them. They're not necessarily good together because they're not necessarily good apart. So you may as well just do yours. You know?
Quentin sucking on feet. It could just be any Quentin.
Quentin sucking on dirty feet then at that point.
Yeah. Quentin sucking on dirty feet.
All right. Well, I don't want to visualize this anymore. So I'm gonna close the show off. Do you have anything else to say other than feet conversation?
See you later.
Okay, Jesus.
Take care. Get Costco, baby.
There's a freaking document in front of your face. You can see what it is.
What?
You know I have to close the show. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna do it now.
Closing.
Okay, you
ready? I forgot to scroll down. I'll be honest with you.
All right. Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening to episode 125 of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and it has been a pleasure to host you alongside my recently betrothed co-host. Sorry. Bad pronunciation there. Co-host Adrian Pinter. Please join us on December 30th for episode 126. Good evening to you and good luck.
Take care. Bye.
Goodbye.
Watch out for those toes.
Oh, jeez.
They're coming at your mouth.
That's so gross. Goodbye.